miles and miles of trails. And parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel says he might not even be involved in the decisions about quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's status going forward. ESPN's injury analyst Stefania Bell says the effects of concussions are not the same for everyone.
It's each individual relative to him or herself. And so in this case, you go, okay, this is the injury we're dealing with at the moment. And I think it does no good for Tua for him to even hear people saying he should retire, because the focus has to be on recovery from this episode.
Stefania Bell on Greeny. Tagovailoa had to leave last night's game with his 3rd confirmed concussion in the last 2 years. Vikings wideout Jordan Addison is out for Sunday against the 49ers with a right ankle injury. Bengals wideout T. Higgins will probably be doubtful Sunday against the Chiefs with a sore hamstring. Tiger Woods today had surgery on his lower back for the 6th time in the last 10 years. Woods says he's hopeful it will relieve the back spasms and pain he's had for most of this year.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming on Monday as the Falcons get ready for Monday Night Football. I'll tell you why fans should be concerned about Kirk Cousins. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right! Woo!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. I was voice texting to Hunt about LouisianaSports.net, and apparently I hadn't turned off the voice text. So it was spelling out, let's go, fun, 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 sports, sports, is what I was yelling as we were in the open. I'm Matt.
You're a loser.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. We are presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Christian LaCouture in 15 minutes from right now. Riot Radio hours. We'll pick some games in hour number 3. A ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Usually, we do have Phil Steele with us on Friday. Unfortunately, Phil had a medical emergency in the family, so Phil is not going to be able to be with us here in 12 minutes. So regret to inform you on that, but we'll look forward to having Phil back next week. But Christian LaCouture, former Tiger, will pinch hit. He'll be with us here in the next segment. One of the reasons I want to talk to Christian, and I've referenced it several times throughout this week, is I think this defensive line is starting to mirror that 2014 team. And I know that's been a decade, and that comparison may be lost on a lot of you, but in 2014, LSU saw Anthony Johnson and Ego Ferguson leave early for the draft. LaCouture, as a sophomore, was the most veteran defensive lineman on that team. You had some talented young guys. Devon Gotcha ended up starting as a freshman that year, and they just kind of had to piece it together and get better as the season went along. And that might sort of be what this team on the defensive front is looking at. Now, Brian Kelly met with reporters on Thursday evening, And one of the guys that he has mentioned that they're going to count on, along with Sean Washington, is Dominic McKinley. Well, we haven't seen Dom McKinley yet, the 5-star out of Acadiana, the first couple of weeks, and Brian Kelly told us why.
He's had a bit of a setback with turf toe. It's been fairly significant. You know, he's getting scarring down on that joint, which is allowing him to do much more. He's on our demo squad right now, and he's doing a really good job. He's a young man that we have an eye towards playing this year, but we got to get him healthy first. And, you know, there's a lot of things going on in your first year, right? He's playing college football. He's going to class. Now he's dealing with an injury for the first time. But his future is bright. But it's going to take a little bit longer to get him there.
Just if you're following, you know, when Kelly was asked about a timeline, or he kind of went on about a timeline, McKinley said it's going to be another week or two as they sort of ramp, but they're going to ramp him up. And if you just play that forward, you know, if McKinley isn't able to play this week, it doesn't sound like he's going to be able to. If that's another week or two, well, keep in mind, you play next week against UCLA, then South Alabama, then you have your open date. So in theory, you may not see Dom McKinley until he makes his debut for LSU against Ole Miss after the open date. It could be a time when you really need him. You'd love to get him on the field before then, but we'll continue to watch and see how it all plays out at this point. But Dom McKinley, don't expect to see him this weekend as he continues to battle turf toe. Again, we'll talk about that with Christian LaCouture here in 10 minutes from right now. Our guy LaCouture actually works now at Mockler Beverage. Of course, our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. Of course, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. If you're not going to be at Williams-Brice, you're going to be having a home gate, watching the game at your party or at your home, whatever it may be. At a sports bar, make sure you got plenty of ice cold Bud Light. And if you're making that grocery, that beer run for your game watch tomorrow, you'll be throwing something on the grill, make sure you got plenty of ice cold Bud Light. Make sure you get the LSU aluminum cans and bottles. They've got the LSU Bud Light aluminum cans and bottles with the Tiger Head logo. Celebration of 100 years of Tiger Stadium. Got a cool QR code if you want to see more about it. It's all there. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. So we'll talk some LSU defensive line deeper with LaCouture here in about 10 minutes from right now. But the Saints injury report is out. Of course, the final injury report before Saints and Cowboys take the field in Dallas, or in Arlington, I should say, on Sunday. And y'all, there's no way around it. This ain't great. Brian Brzee, listed with an illness, did not practice. He's questionable for the game. Marshawn Lattimore did not practice, questionable for the game. Taliesin Fuanga with that back injury did not practice, questionable. That's 3 starters that are questionable. Colin Saunders, we know with that calf injury, is already out. On top of that, Isaiah Foskey, who had been practicing, he was added to the injury report with a back injury as questionable after not practicing on Friday. DeMarco Jackson, Colin Saunders, already out. We knew that. There's another slew of players that had been on the injury report. Among them, the only one of note that was downgraded is Rashid Shaheed. He was full Wednesday, full Thursday, and then limited on Friday. He was a participant listed with a finger injury earlier in the week. Now he's listed with a hip injury that had him limited. Y'all, let me really quickly count this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 players. Y'all, 15 players on the Saints injury report. They're going into week 2. 15 players. This is an alarming number, and especially when you look at Brzee, Lattimore, Fuanga, Saunders. I mean, that's 4 starters right there. You knew you were going to be without Saunders, but my goodness, if you are without Taliesin Fuanga this week, again, I don't even know what you do. A big part of that's going to depend on what happens with Lucas Patrick. Remember, Lucas Patrick is dealing with the toe injury. He's your starting left guard. He did not practice Wednesday, was limited Thursday, was limited Friday. So, I mean, what if he can't go? I guess you could move Trevor Penning back to left tackle, but I don't think anybody wants to see that. When Fuanga didn't play in the 3rd preseason game, kid from Kentucky. Landon Young. Why do I always blank on that kid's name? Landon Young. You started him at left tackle, but what if you don't have Lucas Patrick available? Would you start Young at left guard, and then what do you do at left tackle? There's just a a whole host of issues that could pop up if you're without Patrick and Fuanga or one of the two. So we'll see what they do Sunday in Dallas. Just by comparison, I mentioned there's 15 Saints on the injury report. 2, 4, 6. There's 8 Dallas Cowboys. And only one of them is out. That's John Stevens with a hamstring, the tight end. And the other tight end, Jake Ferguson, with the knee injury, is doubtful. He hasn't practiced all week. Now, that's significant because after CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks, Jake Ferguson really is your best receiving option in Dallas. So that very much limits the targets that Dak has on Sunday if Ferguson's not able to go. And you've got, look, CeeDee Lamb is sensational. But if the Saints don't have Marshawn Lattimore available, then you're asking either Paulson Adebo or Kool-Aid McKinstry as a rookie to go lock down CeeDee Lamb. That's unenviable. Saints are a touchdown underdog in this game, and you can kind of see why. The injuries aren't helping. But see what kind of effort the Saints can go put forward, and maybe if they might get closer to help to get some of these veterans back in time for Sunday's game. But we'll keep you posted. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Our Friday shows are brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Quick reminder, T-Bob and I are at Don Juan tomorrow for LSU South Carolina Whiskey and Wine postgame. So as soon as the game goes final, boom, we're live on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube and Facebook for Whiskey and Wine. But they are opening when they play at 11 a.m. When the Tigers play at 11 a.m., Don Juan opens at 11 a.m. So if you want to come hang out, T-Bob and I will be watching the game at Don Juan. Come join us Saturday at Don Juan starting at 11 a.m. They'll open at 11 for the game. So if you want to come hang out, have some beers, watch the game, you can do that. Have a premium cigar. We'll be over at Don Juan in Town Center. We'll look for you there. A guy who's hung out with us at Don Juan in the past for Whiskey and Wine is Christian LaCouture, former LSU defensive lineman. A big Lack. He'll be with us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. Buying or selling commercial or residential. If you need a realtor, you need Darren James. And yes, you need a realtor because 73% of the people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor anyway. So save yourself the time, save yourself the money, save yourself the aggravation. Just call Darren James and start packing. Hey, look, it's not just in Baton Rouge. Darren's really all over the southern part of the state. New Orleans, Slidell, west toward Lafayette. Like, this is a new listing that just popped up on that I just saw it pop up on Darren's social media. It's it's on Harbor Drive in Slidell. So if you're interested in learning more about that beautiful property, you can do it right now. Call Darren, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Nobody sells more homes than Darren James. Call the best.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Well, Jacobian, was a very technically sound, physically strong football player. So you know what you're losing from that standpoint, but we know what he wasn't as well. And he, he wasn't a dynamic pass rusher, and he would be the first to tell you. But you're losing a very strong inside presence, to your defense. And so you've got to look at, who can make up for that.
Brian Kelly, at virtually every media available this week, has talked extensively about the defensive tackle spot after the injury to Jacobian Guillory, your best, most veteran defensive tackle at a position where you were already thin with respect to skins on the wall. So how do they make it up? A guy who certainly is well-equipped to talk about this, former LSU defensive tackle, former number 18, great friend of the show, also works now with our friends over at Mockler Beverage, so drink plenty of ice cold Bud Light. Christian LaCouture, how are you, dude?
What's up, my man? Selling the best beers in the world. How you doing?
I love it, dude. It's so good. Guys, proudly repping the brand always, man.
Love it.
Hey, let me first just start. So you, I know you were on staff at LSU. Everybody knows that. So you still got a close connection to the staff and to the program. When you saw the news about Jacobian Guillory, what was your first? I mean, you're also a guy who had an ACL. You had a season-ending injury. What was your first reaction when you saw that news?
Yeah, man, it was obviously tough. Obviously the presence of him in the middle, being a big dynamic guy that can stop the run, take a lot of double teams, and that experience factor plays a huge part in that. When you lose a guy like that at already a thin position, you don't want to see that. And I remember him when we were recruiting him, and we knew he's going to be a guy in the middle.
Wait, hang on. Put him on hold real quick, Muse, and check. Okay, thanks. We're gonna we just had a little tough connection there with Christian. We're gonna see if we can reconnect with him and get him right back. I want to dive deep into this conversation though. And one of the things I know that I've talked about a good bit is that 2014 team. And when you go back and you look at that team, are we good? All right, we're good. All right, we got Christian back. Okay, sorry about that, man. You were talking about when you all were recruiting Jacobian Guillory and you knew what type of player he was going to be.
Yeah, man. He obviously, watching his film and recruiting, I mean, he was the guy that, would take on double teams, split them, and get off the block and make plays. For him, maybe not the most dynamic pass rusher, but could still provide that push in the middle. And losing that guy, especially with that experience he had, man, it's obviously tough with a thin position.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you brought up maybe not being a dynamic pass rusher, because when you look at Jacobian's stats, through 2 games he had 1 tackle. And Brian Kelly's even alluded to this before, where he's not necessarily the guy that you're going to see stuff the stat sheet, but he impacts the game in so many other ways. Can you elaborate a little bit on what ways he's impacting the game that we may not see when fans are basically just watching the ball?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a dirty position, man. It's an unselfish position. I mean, it's something where you're not going to make the glory stats like you were just saying. It's something where, hey, you're going to take on these double teams. You're going to, you're always going to have 2 hats on you. And look, you might not make the glory stack. You might not make that third down TFL, whatever it might be, but you're going to be stuff in that middle, and you're going to make sure that they kick it outside. And it's a very unselfish position. It's required. And I was always told for your defense and for your team, it always starts in the middle, from your running back, quarterback, center, nose guard, middle linebacker, and safety. You got to be sound there. And with Jacobian playing that role is it's an unselfish position, but it's one of the most important positions because you might get one or two, but your linebackers are flying around because you're taking those two guys on that offensive line.
Hey, when you watch this team, now that Guillory's out for the year, who are the guys that have stood out to you on the interior, or is it too small of a sample?
I mean, too small of a sample, but you know what? I do know, obviously, with Coach Bo Davis, I mean, he's going to have those guys ready to go. I mean, what he's been able to do with his coaching history, Alabama, Texas, and I know he's worked very well with, Pete Jenkins, and so the technique from that standpoint, he's going to have those guys ready. And I know they've had some transfers come in, and, they might be moving from defensive ends, some of those bigger guys inside to kind of help them out. But, time will tell. And, one thing I know is they have a great coaching staff, and I know they're going to have them ready to go.
You mentioned the defensive end. So Brian Kelly has talked about Paris Shand as one of those guys. So I'm curious, Christian, he's 6'4", 275, and he's an end. Yep. But we have seen him in certain packages kick inside. Like, how capable or able do you feel Shand is, considering, and by the way, he said yesterday or earlier this week when he met with reporters, he said he knows every position. He can play nose, 3-tech, and he can play it all. He knows it all. He's a fifth-year guy right now. How capable do you think Shand is at his size to play that spot?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely capable. Kind of one of those bigger defensive ends. I mean, if you were to fly him inside, you definitely see him in that 3-tech position. Kind of one of those guys that, not really that nose guard, but kind of on that guard. That's probably when you see a guy that's maybe not a 300-pounder, but a bigger defensive end that can slide in and, be that 275-pound 3 technique. If he can play nose, that's great. But you kind of want a bigger guy like Jacobian, 300, 310, that can sustain multiple double teams throughout the game compared to a 3 technique that maybe would get a one-on-one or can kind of shoot that gap and make that play. So he's definitely one of those guys that, just like you said, that small sample that you could probably put at that 3 technique and kind of get a good rotation there.
Christian LaCouture is our guest. Do you think – I want to reference 2014 and let me not speak I want to get your perspective, because as I remember it, at the start of that season with the guys that left early, like, you were the most veteran defensive guy, and that was your sophomore year. And then Gottschall had to end up starting as a true freshman. Walk me through what you remember about the group y'all had that year and what it was like playing D-line that season.
Yeah, we were thin. But you know what? We had, Coach Brick Haley and John Chavis and Les Smiles. I mean, this is why you come to LSU. You come to play and be prepared. And you have to be prepared to play. When your number's called, you got to produce. And otherwise, it's next man up. So, when Gottschall was coming up, he was one of the guys that we told him, hey, you're going to have to play. And he came in and he grew and he got in that playbook and he understood what he needed to do. And when his time was called, we had an injury and he stepped up and he never looked back. And, for me, I was just trying to be that leader and I was trying to be a guy. Look, I knew I was a sophomore and it's my first year starting, but to your point, I had the most experience inside and I wanted to be that guy and bring everybody together and make sure that, hey, we're going to play sound defense, but we're also going to be communicating. I was always told communication breeds confidence, right? So if we're all on the same page, we're always right. So bringing those guys along, being a leader. But we had some guys, man, that had to step up, whether they're freshmen or sophomores, Greg Gilmore, Frank Aaron, those guys like that. So we had to make sure that even though we're sophomores or freshmen, we had to be ready to play.
What were the biggest challenges? Was it physical? Was it mental? Because, Christian, y'all had some good moments that year, but there was also, the Mississippi State game where a veteran Mississippi State team came in here and was just better. So, what were the biggest challenges from there that you think might correlate here?
Well, I wouldn't say it's so much physical. I think from the mental standpoint of the game, just understanding, look, you got to know your opponent. You got to study and you got to know what you see, and whether it's formations, but just as you kind of start, like you pointed to, that as the year went on, we started to be able to understand our identity and know who we were and getting together and studying and understanding our opponent. In the beginning, I think we were still trying to move people around and figure where everybody was at. I mean, Kendall Beckwith came along, became a starter that year. Yep. We were still trying to figure, I think, our identity out in the beginning of the year with our defense. But as we got towards the middle of the year, we really started finding that. But those first couple games, man, I think for us, it wasn't so much physical. I think it was more of gelling as a defense and then also the mental standpoint of it is just being caught, especially with how young we are, and just getting some experience under our belt.
I'm so glad you said that, too. Christian LaCouture is our guest, former number 18, played at LSU, of course, coached on the 2019 National Championship staff. I'm so glad you brought that up, man, because it's like teams and defenses are allowed to improve as the season goes along, and sometimes you figure yourself out. So for this LSU defense now, there's going to be a lot of figuring out. Like, I want to go back to something you said a bit ago where you got to be strong up the middle. I mean, it's true. That's true in baseball as well. We talk about it all the time. Catcher, shortstop, second base, center field, right up the middle. So Brian Kelly kind of talked about this week, maybe moving Whit Weeks more to a full-time starter at Mike, moving Harold Perkins maybe to the star, the outside position. Do you have a feeling, I saw you in Vegas. I know you watch all the games. You're not there at practice every day, but what do you see when you watch this defense on the interior, especially there at linebacker?
Well, I'll tell you, number 40 is rolling.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. He's making plays. He's running sideline to sideline. And kind of like Jacoby, man, he's that dirt dog, man. He's going out there and scrapping and fighting for every inch. And you can just kind of see the excitement when he's out there, man, just the juice. And just, just him being the center of that defense, man. And really exciting to see a guy really stepping up. And I think, I've seen Coach Kelly really praising him as well. And just a small sample we've seen these last couple games. And him just, when he's out there, man, how stout that defense is. And really excited to see him obviously kind of take a bigger step and get more playing time. And look, they got stars everywhere. You still have, like you said, you still have number 7, Harold Perkins, and moving, outside to that star position. I mean, the small sample we saw in Vegas, I remember he came off the edge like guns blazing, and man, you couldn't stop him. The big TFL in the backfield, and man, he's so quick and dynamic. Coming off that outside position, and now you get a stout guy on the inside like Whit Weeks, and if we can get some gelling on that defensive line inside, man, I think that's kind of where you were talking about with us in 2014. These guys start getting that experience under their belt at one position, play after play after play. Just really excited to see number 40 really take off and see what he does with it.
Yeah, your comparison with Kendall Beckwith that year was a good one because it really started to change when Beckwith got in there on the inside. All right, there's 2 more things I want to ask you. Number 1, I want to ask you about Don McKinley. 6'6", 315, 5-star, number 1 player in Louisiana. Brian Kelly said he's got turf toe, but when he gets back, maybe a week or 2, they're going to ramp him up. What's realistic for a guy like that who's so big, but also so raw? What's realistic for him as this season goes along?
Man, if he can really look, the opportunity's there. If he can really kind of get his feet wet and obviously he's got the talent, right? He's he's number 1 player in the country, best defensive lineman in the country. He's got a great coaching staff. If he could just, that mental game, right? Get in that playbook, understand that, and then when he gets back healthy, man, if he can get in that rotation and kind of what Whit Weeks did, really, when he gets that small sample or whatever it is, make the most of it. But for him as a true freshman to come in and he can get in that rotation and prove his worth and make some really good plays. And I mean, a guy at that size, you're kind of talking about Shand earlier at 275, but now you got a guy that can probably play every position on that defensive line. He's quick enough to play defensive end. He's big enough to play 3 technique. And look, if we want to slide him inside on a pass rush situation as a nose guard, or even if we want to play, a 4-3 situation where he might be that shade, he can play all positions. And that's the biggest thing I was always taught is the more positions the quicker you get on the field. You don't just want to be a 3 technique because whenever that position comes open, okay, now I can play. But if you can play the 5, if you can play the 3, if you can play the shade, or if you can play 4-3 or 3-4 on those multiple defensive fronts, that's the quickest way you can get on the field. So if he can master that, he's got the size, the strength, and the talent. But if he can know all positions, then he'll get out there and he'll be in more playing time as the year goes on.
Last thing for you, man. Christian LaCouture, our guest, your time always appreciated. One of the things Brian Kelly said is they're not necessarily looking for any of these defensive linemen to go play 60, 65 reps, but maybe a handful of these guys to give you 12, 15, like max effort reps a game. Walk me through that, man. Like, as a defensive lineman, what situation would you rather be in? Would you rather be out there for 65 snaps a game, or would you rather have that healthy rotation where you're constantly changing the bodies, almost like a line change in hockey?
Man, It's crazy because it's like, as a player, dude, for me, there's two things. Like, when I was a player, I wanted to be out there as much as I can because I was getting in the rhythm of the game, right? You start feeling the type of game you're going into. Is it a running game, whatever? So the more plays, you kind of get in that rhythm compared to being in and out. But as a coach, when I was coaching, it was like, man, you want that line shift like hockey. Man, if you got two defensive lines that are just as good, get them in, get them out. That way they're fresh. And as the year goes on, man, especially going into the SEC play, for me personally, I think from a coaching standpoint, if you can have two defensive lines where you can go in and they're just as good and rotate them out as the year goes on in SEC play, you want to have that, because if something happens where somebody goes down, it's next man up and you have no problems because that guy's just going to be as good. But I think for me as a player, Matt, as the rhythm was going on in the game, I was preferring those 60 or 65 plays.
It's really a question. What hat are you wearing? Are you wearing coach or player Christian hat? But either way, we'll see how the Tigers can do this weekend over in Columbia, South Carolina. Christian LaCouture, great friend of the show, great former Tiger, man. Always appreciate you. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, man, be well. As we mentioned, Christian's working with our friends over at Mockler now. I think he's like the area. I should ask him. I think he's the area manager down in Homa, and awesome dude, man. Got to see Big Lac in Vegas. Got to drink a few beers, and great dude, man. Love getting to visit with him when we do. Great perspective as a guy. Played at LSU, then was a GA and coached at LSU, of course, and always appreciate when we get a couple minutes from him. So it's interesting perspective. It's true, man. I bet those players want to be on the field every play. But as a coach, when you feel like you have a line change, you just keep fresh, healthy bodies out there. As long as you don't have a drop-off, maybe that's how it can go. But if you can get past this game, I keep saying this, man, you get past this game, the next two, you got a cakewalk against UCLA and against South Alabama. And I know what South Alabama did Northwestern State last night, but that's a cakewalk in Tiger Stadium. Then you get your open date. You got an opportunity because of how the schedule fell to improve, to ramp up to that game against Ole Miss. I'm not telling you it's going to go great. I'm not predicting that's going to happen. You're in a pickle. But at least how the schedule sets up at least gives you the opportunity to be ready for your best effort that day against Ole Miss. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Oh, yeah? They do indoor shutters as well. There's so many benefits, y'all, to indoor shutters. Of course, it's going to beautify your home. We have those plantation shutters. In our home, I've told you before, we had Relief Windows come in. They put in picture windows that looks out to the back where our pool and the water is outside. Gorgeous way to just provide this beautiful, transparent view to the back. Just a great ambiance. And then the plantation shutters just add this extra layer of beauty and elegance to the whole thing. It ties the whole room together. If you're interested, Relief Windows does it all. Windows, doors, siding, and indoor shutters as well. Get that quote, get that estimate from Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. Okay, we'll do our tailgate segment here in about 15 minutes from right now. If you're just jumping aboard expecting Phil Steele, apologies. Phil had a sort of a medical emergency in his family, so he couldn't join us today. Totally understand. We'll definitely look forward to having Phil back next week. So we'll go around the SEC. We'll get our tailgate segment, Theriot, in 30 minutes. Ton to do. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Pretty excited, man. Next weekend, we just confirmed, going to be doing a little content creation with our guys over at Duplessis Builders, along with LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacey. Just joined up with an NIL deal with our guys over at Duplessis. Love telling you about Derek Duplessis and the team over at Duplessis Builders. You know, if you're thinking about building that pool, outdoor kitchen, beautifying that outdoor area at your home, you got to call Duplessis. You know, one of the things that certainly stands out about Duplessis above all the others is Derek's background as an engineer, which I've told you about before. Because he's got that engineering background, he does everything according to those engineering principles and criteria. He will not compromise quality for time or anything. Like, he would pass on a job before he compromised quality to do something quickly. So they're going to take their time to do it right. That's why they offer you a 10-year workmanship warranty when the industry average is 1 year. Looking to build a pool and outdoor kitchen? You need to check out DuplessisBuilders.net.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
You can't win a championship without playing defense. Go to parishbuilt.com and sign up for the priority.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Glad you're rolling along with us here on this Friday edition of AFR Theriot in 24 minutes. Look forward to having him here. We'll do Ryan's Letter. We'll do Kick Rocks. We'll do all that good stuff. By the way, Tom Brady is going to be on the call for Saints-Cowboys. This will be the second week in a row that Brady has got the Cowboys. Obviously, he's with the number one booth for Fox, and Fox is just going to keep airing Cowboys games. So I guess Tom Brady is going to become like the de facto TV color analyst for the Dallas Cowboys. But we'll get to hear Tom Brady. I'm intrigued anyway. Did either of you hear anything, clips, highlights, anything?
I didn't hear any.
It was so interesting because remember when, I guess this is the most ballyhooed debut since Romo, and we all remember Romo's first game, and then there were all the mashups of the predictions, like play calls, right?
Yeah,
like he was calling plays before they happened. I didn't see any of that with Brady. I don't know that I saw any calls at all of Brady. Was it just blasé? Did anybody write up anything?
I haven't seen it. I'm kind of with you, man. I haven't seen. That's why I'm intrigued to hear it on Sunday, because I'm like, okay, well, wait, was it bad? Like, was it so-so?
I don't know. No. We'll see. So Tom Brady will be on the call for Saints-Cowboys, noon Central on Sunday. We'll talk plenty about that, give you a pick on the game. I'll also give you my pick of LSU and South Carolina in Hour 3. But if you're interested in getting it now, our staff survey is up at LouisianaSports.net. So everybody here from 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, we've already given our pick for LSU South Carolina. It's written up at LouisianaSports.net. So if you want to read all of our picks, Hester, T-Bob, me, Hunt, Moose, Paulie, Alondra, Beck, who am I missing? Taylor, anybody else? Jordan, no?
Hanny?
Hanny, yes, Hanny, yeah, all of us. So they're all there. We got to get Odd's pick in there, too. Odd's not in there. Come on,
He's
Hunt. Come on, Hunt. Get Otter on there. We'll go around the SEC here in just a quick second. We'll do some capsules on the entire slate. Again, if you're just joining us, normally I have Phil Steele. Phil had a family emergency, so was unable to join us today. A couple of interesting notes before we get into the game capsules. On3 reported earlier Friday that Auburn's making a change at quarterback against New Mexico. So Hank Brown, their redshirt freshman, is going to get the start under center. It had been Peyton Thorne. Remember, Peyton Thorne spent 3 years as Michigan State's quarterback. Last year, transferred to Auburn as a graduate, won the job. Auburn didn't have a great season a year ago, obviously, 6-win season. And Hank Brown redshirted a season ago. His only action came in the Music City Bowl, and was pushing Holden Grenier for the backup job this year and won it. So Hank Brown committed to Hugh Freeze at Liberty. He was a consensus 3-star, committed to Hugh Freeze at Liberty. When Hugh Freeze left Liberty for Auburn, he brought Hank Brown with him. So Brown flipped his commitment from Liberty to Auburn. So not typically the star rating you would see for an Auburn recruiter quarterback, but a guy that clearly Hugh Freeze is high on, knows his system, and they're going to give him a shot. So Hank Brown did play in the 73-3 win over Alabama A&M. He was 3 of 5 for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. So let me say that slowly. He completed 3 passes. 2 of them were touchdowns. They were playing a SWAC school, which is just a dramatically different reality from the SEC. But anyway, Auburn will make a change under center. Something worth keeping an eye on when Auburn plays New Mexico on the Plains tomorrow. All right, we'll go around the SEC. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. More than 30 offices across a dozen different states. If you weigh or measure something, they sell, service, rent the products you use to weigh and measure. Hey, look, if you have a calibration lab, or you have a business that needs services of a calibration lab, don't pack up your devices and ship them to Chicago. Just call Michelli. They're local. They'll come to you. They'll pick up your devices, bring it back to the lab, calibrate it, bring it back to you. Makes it easier, saves you time. It's efficient. You're dealing with local people as well that still love to do business with a handshake and a smile. Have equipment that can't leave your facility or don't want to leave your facility, they can come to you. Michelli has a mobile calibration lab. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Check them out online for a full list of their services at Michelli.com. At Michelli, we show the world what measurement can do. All right, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference.
All right, let's just run through
the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Let's just run through the games here. Muse, Paulie, feel free to jump in if you want. Bama's at Wisconsin. Bama more than a 2-touchdown favorite. Of course, Wisconsin played South Dakota last week, a close one, 27-13. The story here is that everyone sort of anticipated Luke Fickell bringing in Phil Longo. Wisconsin was going to open up this offense. It just hasn't really worked. Wisconsin right now, 75th in the country in total offense, 87th in scoring. Is pretty ugly. If Alabama needed to get right, going on the road to Camp Randall's just a different kind of environment. But I don't know that Wisconsin's up for this at all.
It feels like the environment's their only hope in this game.
Probably something like that. Or maybe Jalen Milroe not being a good quarterback, but he's not. But he is a dynamic athlete and could just run like he did against LSU a year ago.
The Missouri Tigers.
Missouri hosts BC. How do we feel about this one?
I'm actually really intrigued with this one because Missouri hadn't been tested, and I watched BC run all over Florida State. While Florida State's not good, I understand that. They have 3 guys over 100 rushing yards already in 2 weeks at Boston College. I want to see that.
Boston College beat Duquesne last week, 56-0. Yeah, man. Right now, Missouri, though, number 1 in the country in total defense, number 1 in passing defense. It's because they've shut out 2 opponents. Yeah. I mean, they've played Buffalo, and who was
Murray State.
Murray State, thank you. Oh, we got to get the Murray State Racers drop.
Was it a drop or you had the whole song?
Well, we took the part of the song that was Murray State or Racers. Welcome to Racer Hoops. Anyway, got to get that back because you never know.
You never know.
That's like manna from radio heaven.
Yeah.
When you get a Murray State Racers,
especially with Matt McMahon, I feel like we have a lot of opportunity.
I know, man, always there. All right, Missouri plays Boston College. Ranked on ranked matchup.
Texas A&M.
The Florida Gators.
Florida at home. Do we see DJ Lagway? That's going to be the big question here. Or Graham Mertz. Mertz missed last week with a concussion. He's practiced this week, but does Lagway get the start, play the bulk? The 5-star freshman might be the only hope here. Texas A&M already with 1 loss. Their home opening loss to Notre Dame. A&M is a 3.5-point road favorite here. This feels like one of those for both coaches. Like, you got to win this game. If you're Billy Napier and you drop a second home game in 3 weeks, I've said I don't know that he makes it to the LSU game in November. I actually think Florida wins this game.
Okay. I think it was Russ was talking about A&M's defense. They've not lived up to the billing, so a guy like Lagway could really cause some problems there, man.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
I'm interested. This was one of my what to watch from yesterday. Oklahoma hosts Tulane. It's about a 13-point line. Oklahoma not impressive a week ago against lowly Houston. Just a 16-12 win for Oklahoma. Maybe a look ahead spot as they open up SEC play next week at home against their former quarterback, Tennessee. Just a sneaky little spot at 2:30 on ESPN worth keeping an eye on.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas hosts UAB. UAB lost to ULM last week 32-6. The Hogs are like a 24-point favorite, and I would lay the 24 with Arkansas in this game.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss leading college football in passing offense, total offense, scoring offense, rushing defense, and they're third in scoring defense. Now, the caveat is they've played a grand total of nobody going on the road to Wake Forest. I guess this does check the box of your Power 5 non-conference opponent.
Scroll.
Okay, sorry. I thought you had something to say.
Oh, no. I'm good on that one.
The Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, they play UTSA. Who cares?
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
If Vandy beats Georgia State, they hit their over for the season. They were 2.5.
I love Vanderbilt so
If
much.
Vanderbilt beats Georgia State, they're a 10-point road favorite, and it's in Atlanta. This is the first meeting ever. If Vanderbilt wins this game, they go over 2.5. You Vanderbilt bettors, you get to cash that ticket early.
Diego Pavia, man, he's
awesome. Let's go.
The Georgia Bulldogs. The Kentucky Wildcats.
Listen how she said Georgia Bulldogs. Play that again.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Kind of sultry a little bit there.
It was a little sultry. All those people like, hey, give me back deep voice guy. No, absolutely not. He's never coming back. Ever. Anyway, the only thing I'm intrigued by here is what Lee Sterling told us yesterday. Kentucky, very good underdog team. Georgia, typically somewhere along the way, has somewhat of a letdown in one of these games. Last year, it was against Auburn. Auburn played him to a one-score game in the fourth quarter. Is this maybe it? I don't think so, just because I think Kentucky has absolutely nothing on offensively to be able to challenge Georgia.
The Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, we just talked about this. They play New Mexico. By the way, New Mexico, 0-2. They lost to Arizona and Montana State.
Oh, the Bobcat. No, the Grizz. Or is it Bobcat?
I think Montana's
is
the Grizz. If you want an opportunity to roll out Hank Brown for his first start, a New Mexico team that lost a week ago to Montana State, probably a good opportunity to do it.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
They play Toledo. See if they get a bounce back after a tough road loss against Arizona State last week.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And Tennessee plays Kent State at home. It'll be a rout, but a good opportunity. They lead. By the way, Tennessee leads the country in rush defense.
Take that, Missouri.
Take that, Missouri. Jerks. Once you play somebody like Tennessee playing Kent State. Well, they did play
They played NC State. Who's also terrible, apparently.
Yeah. No, apparently so. Hey, look, man. Your boy was on it. I rolled with Lee Sterling last week. I was like, hey, look, my guy gave us wrong team favorite with Notre Dame over Texas A&M. I rode with him. I went right back to the well next week when he gave us NC State over Tennessee. Wrong team favorite. That one didn't work out. So,
no. The right team was favored.
Yeah, the right team was favored. Yes, that was definitely a right team favorite in that one. All right, there's your SEC slate for the week. All right, it's After Further Review. Friday shows are brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll knock out a quick break. We'll do our tailgate segment, and then Theriot in 13 minutes. Stick around.
AFR.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. At Glow Resources, they are complete employer solutions. So often when I tell you what Glow is, I start by telling you what they aren't. Glow Resources is not a temp staffing agency. Glow Resources does not want you, the employee, to call them. They'll find you. Glow Resources, they are complete employer solutions. They want to talk to you, the business owner. You, the HR manager. You, the operations manager. You, the VP in charge of hiring. That's who they talk to. And they will show you exactly how they use their vast network of resources to find the right people for your job in a timely manner, according to your timeline, to make you more efficient. A 93% success rate with their hires. As a matter of fact, they're so confident if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, they'll give you a prorated refund or find a new employee for free. You have nothing to lose. GLO, glowresources.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. At LSU, we play hard, but we tailgate harder. Light your burner, fire up the grill. It's time for our Football Friday tailgate recipe of the week with Chris's Specialty Foods. 3 locations, or go to chrisspecialtyfoods.com.
All right, Coben Linedecker in studio with us. Love doing this, man. Eating is as much a part of game day as anything around these parts, and our friends over at Chris is doing an awesome job. So Coben comes in, brings some delectable delights, and gives you some recipes and some tips. How are you, dude?
All good. Glad to be here, Matt.
Thank you, man. How did the week go, by the way, for you guys over at Chris's with the storm? I know every business was affected in some way. How did y'all do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, with the storm coming in, we wanted to make sure families had enough food to make sure they get through the storm okay. Everybody had food that knowing places weren't going to be open. So Wednesday, we opened up that morning for a last-minute resort for people to come by, and we had customers and just wanted to help out the community, make sure everyone had enough food to make it through the storm. So we panned out all right.
Cool. Very good. Well, tomorrow's a game day, and it's Gamecocks. We usually eat the competition, so typically we're going to go chicken when we're playing South Carolina, or Auburn in that respect.
Yes.
Or chicken. So what do we got today, man?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went with a little tailgate-themed chicken platter. So we did our homemade smoked wings that we smoked for about 2-3 hours. We did our bacon-wrapped chicken thighs, which we offer stuffed chicken thighs also. We have our stuffed chicken breast. That's our broccoli, rice, and cheese casserole stuffed chicken breast. And then we have our blackened chicken that we serve in the restaurants with all the sandwiches and wraps.
That's this over here?
Yep.
Got it. Okay, awesome. Hey, so whenever you pop the lid off this tailgate, by the way, if someone wanted to get a platter like this, they could call you and this could be done and they could just come pick this up?
Yeah. They just give a call, any of the 4 locations, and if you want to do the South Carolina theme, just ask for a chicken platter and we'll hook you up.
That's awesome. So I've told you before, like with COVID, I lost my smell. I'm one of those, and I never really got it back.
Yeah.
But it's weird because some things I do smell, and usually it's earthy things. Like I was telling you, like I can nose whiskey or wine and I can smell it. So like if I'm at a campfire, I can smell smoke. But it's weird. As soon as you pop the lid off of that, I was just hit with the smoky flavor. That's the wings.
That's a good sign. Yes. Yeah.
So walk me through. You're here in about 30 seconds or so. If someone wanted to try smoking wings, what would take them from start to finish? How would they do it?
Yeah, so a lot of people soak them overnight, which that you don't have to. That's
What would you
optional.
soak them in?
You could do like a buttermilk, or you could do a just a dry seasoning with a little bit of water. Anything that soaks up the seasoning. We didn't soak these, so we just hit these with our Chris's Cajun seasoning, and then threw them on the smoker at 225 for about 2.5 hours.
Hell yeah, man! Different any type of charcoal you use in particular?
We do a pellet grill.
Wood chip? Oh,
yeah,
pellet.
wood
Okay,
chips.
okay,
Yeah.
got it. So
any cherry, apple, any of that.
What do you like?
I always do cherry.
All right,
Yeah.
cherry wood.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard of people who are very proud of their ability to grill and to smoke use peach wood. Have you ever used peach wood before?
Never. No, I've done cherry and apple, but never peach.
See, try out
I
peach
will,
wood
yeah.
at some point, and just let me know your thoughts.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. I mean, you're a guy that knows your way around the grill and the
Yeah.
kitchen. You do this professionally, so just try it. Let me know what you think. I'd be curious.
Absolutely.
Or if you've tried peach wood before, let me know your thoughts. Coben Linedecker, Chris's Specialty Foods, chrisspecialtyfoods.com, chrisspecialtyfoods.com. You go to the website. You want one of these tailgate platters, they can hook you up. You just want to go buy some steaks, throw them on the grill. Great spot to do it. Chris's Specialty Foods with 4 locations. The newest right there on Highland. No, the newest in Central, I guess.
Yeah.
But also the Airline Prairieville location moved to Highland Road right there by right across from Ruffino's. Make sure you check them out. 10 seconds. Who wins tomorrow?
LSU 31-20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very close to my score.
31-20.
Not exactly, but very close. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Matt.
Hour 2 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Hey, look, when Ben McDonald, our guy, Big Ben, wanted to buy that hunting property in Mississippi, you know where he went to finance his land? First South Farm Credit. I'm not guessing because you've heard him talk about it on commercials forever. And it's not just Ben buying hunting property. If you're interested in buying that land to build your family's dream home, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You can always start at the website, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. They've been around since 1916. And maybe the thing that, of all the reasons, of course, because they're local and because they've helped Louisianans buy land for more than 100 years, they got locations everywhere. But remember, one of the things that sets them apart is their patronage refund. They share their profits with their borrowers. This year, they distributed $25.5 million to their borrowers, which effectively lowers your cost of borrowing. It's First South Farm Credit.
Construction and Roofing.
Hello, Kim Mulkey here. When I have construction and roofing needs, I call my friend Ryan Theriot and the Parish Construction and Roofing team. I sleep good at night because I know the Parish team has my back. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs. And remember, always do business with someone you know.
Parish Built from your hometown. Parishbuilt.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is now in concussion protocol, but Coach Mike McDaniel says for now, Tagovailoa should just focus on being a dad. With his history of concussions, the next steps will be taken carefully. ESPN's Chris Canty.
We've seen so many different visuals of Tua laid out on the football field because of a concussion. It's an uncomfortable fact pattern. And at this stage, I don't know that if I'm the Dolphins organization, if I'm the NFL, I'm leaving the decision up to Tua on when he comes back or if he comes back.
Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike. Skylar Thompson would be next up as the starter, but the Dolphins will bring in another quarterback. No decision yet on whether Tagovailoa will go on IR. Bills linebacker Terrell Bernard has a pectoral strain from last night's game. Not believed to be season-ending, but he could go on IR. Chiefs wideout Marquise Brown will have surgery on his shoulder joint and go on injured reserve. He'll miss at least 4 more games, but Andy Reid says he could be out for months.
Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol, America's #1 brand of shaving cream. Barbasol's thick and rich lather gives you a close, comfortable shave for just half the price of gels. Barbasol.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Oh!
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload. Yeah, the boy
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
Well, how's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but good. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
YouTube. And Theriot. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Yo, Brett.
Yeah.
All right. How's your day going?
Great. It's hot outside. Man.
All right.
I was enjoying yesterday's lack of humidity. It was nice.
Oh, how about today?
It was hot. It's hot today. I was just outside. It was hot.
Oh, temperature must have cranked up. Boy, it was beautiful this morning. Went by the parish office this morning. Long marketing meeting. Me and Macy. Well, you were at some other meeting. I don't know what you were in. What were you doing?
Yeah, that wasn't a fun meeting.
Oh, really? That was the big conference room at the parish office where, like, I don't know, y'all. What's the stuff you put on the glass so you can't see through anymore?
It's like the mirrored, you know, yeah.
It's weird. Like, you walk by and you're kind of like doing one of these numbers, like where you're.
We can see you though.
I know you like when you're in the room you can see out, but when you're outside looking in, it's like a mirrored glass, so you're kind of like you could see like the silhouette of people. So you're like doing this. You look kind of creepy walking by. Or I did. I saw you wave at me though.
Yeah, I saw you pull up.
Yeah, no, I know you did. I was aware.
Yeah, that was a logistics meeting. Not a whole lot of fun. That's not my strong suit. Like anything that like you need like structure.
Yeah, structure,
and
organization. Yeah, definitely not your strong.
I mean, I'm getting better at it.
You
are. But no, I wouldn't say I excel there. So I try to really lock in because I want to be good at that. But
you know what I would suggest is
whatever. The conversation turned to I'm trying to give one of the guys on our team, Andrew, a nickname. And that went on for about 20 minutes until everybody was like, okay, bro, can you be serious for a minute? Like, I was being dead serious, because he needs a nickname. Bad.
So a storm came. We've been inundated over at Parish Construction and Roofing with calls. By the way, I talked to Linda today. So impressive. Like, literally everybody that has called, email, like they immediately get a call back and their schedule. Like, the touch points are amazing. Linda does a great job. Not just Linda. Everybody in our office does an awesome job.
The team is ready. Yeah.
And you are in a logistics meeting talking about a nickname.
Yeah.
The day after a storm rolls out of here.
Yeah, but like it's not. No, okay. You're making me sound like I'm some schmuck that doesn't do anything.
I'm not making you sound like anything.
It was just
What am I to make of this?
I sat in the meeting after like hour 2.5. I got bored.
That's way too
and I was done. But like I don't stop. It's not like a 9 to 5 thing. You know this. I don't stop. I'm gonna be in the bed tonight, texting, scheduling stuff at 10:30 tonight. I mean, so. But it's not just me; it's the whole team. Shout out to everybody, seriously, in that office to be prepared. Thank goodness it wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been. There was a little jog to the east that I think saved a lot of folks. But still, like you said, the phones have been blowing up. We've been on the spot, obviously in our immediate area, Gonzales, but Baton Rouge, that area, Livingston, but Thibodaux, Houma area, Raceland. Which we've been getting the majority of the calls. Man, it got pretty bad. Nichols took a beating. They had some serious damage down there too.
Well, we can help. Parishbuilt.com. Love the new Kim Mulkey ad as well.
The GOAT.
Kim Mulkey in a Parish shirt. I love that.
Listen, man, if Kim says to do it and you don't do it, your ass is going on the bench. And that's just the way it goes.
All right, guys. Got to call my friend Ryan Theriot. Ryan Theriot. She's so good.
She is.
All right. By the way, what else is hurricane on? What else is going on in the day, in the week, in the life of Mr. The Riot?
So when the storm season started, it was predicted to be like horrible, and we've actually been pretty fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I do think it's getting ready to ramp up. I think we're going to see one, maybe two more.
I didn't realize, but I think today or yesterday was like the halfway point of storms. So we're not even close to being done.
No, and those stuff can linger into October. So, I mean, that's kind of been like at the forefront. Yeah. It consumes you, especially in our business.
Is this your way of telling me you don't have a letter?
I've got a letter.
Oh, okay. I thought you were preparing me for like, I don't have a letter. Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
Is that your way of saying get to the letter?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's 8 minutes after the hour now.
Folks who complain about hurricanes and storms. That's what this is.
Okay.
This letter's to.
You can go a lot of different directions with this.
You live in frickin' South Louisiana, okay?
Yeah.
You've chosen to make this place your home. An area that's susceptible to hurricanes, flooding, and tornadoes when the hurricanes come.
Yep.
Matter of fact, it's almost a guarantee that you'll experience one of the three if you stay here long enough. Why does it shock you that the power goes out when a giant-ass oak tree limb falls on a power line?
It doesn't.
Why do people take to social media and get pissed off every time that happens?
I don't know.
Instead of complaining about not having power, why don't you focus on all that negative energy and figure out a way to make enough money to buy yourself a standby generator?
From Optimize.
As much time as you spend bitching and complaining about not having power and being hot and sweating in your house, you could have figured out how to make a couple bucks and called Optimize Energy and bought you a standby generator.
GeneratorPeople.com. GeneratorPeople.com. By the way, $600 down payment.
For $600, I would imagine that you clowns that sit there and complain, I'm hot, you could have just thought, how can I make an extra $600 to get this, to go get a generator?
$600 in financing options for any budget. GeneratorPeople.com.
Instead of blasting energy, how about take some preventative measures to make sure that you don't have swamp ass from sweating so much when you're sitting in your lazy boy waiting for the power to come back on. We still don't have power posts that I see.
No.
Those are tired, okay? You know damn good and well why the power is out, okay? You bought a house in an area that has giant trees everywhere. There will 1,000,000%. It's gonna happen. A limb's gonna fall during a high wind event, okay? The power's gonna get knocked out. If it's the internet that you're complaining about, because I heard a lot of that too, there's this thing called Skylink. Look it up.
I've heard of that. Yeah. Is that the Elon thing?
Look it up.
Is that Elon's?
Elon's thing. $600. It's
the internet. Yeah, you can put the internet anywhere with that thing. Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah,
It's mobile. And it's satellite.
Yeah, it's satellite internet. Yeah.
Stop. Take all the complaining that you do and think a little bit.
Do it.
Let's prevent this.
Aww.
The $600 Skylink deal, and it's like cheap per month. It's mobile. It's satellite. Don't have to worry about the internet going down at that point.
I just went to Facebook and typed in power out to see what would come up.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that came up, look at this. It was a post from 2019 of Drew at Abilities. Look at this. Can you pull it up, Paulie? Look at that. My little guy.
What a stud.
Look at my little guy. I think because I said something about like his superpower or something. Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry.
He's a guy. No, if you're going to interrupt me, that's a good reason to interrupt me. You know that.
I know,
he made my wall.
He did make your wall of all your memorabilia and everything. We'll talk about that later. Sorry.
I'm going to need the idiots on the Weather Channel to stop mispronouncing names of cities and streets in Louisiana. Okay?
They're here every year.
They are so
You're
bad.
here every year. How are you still getting it wrong?
Listening to
Atchafalaya. Chafuncta. Chapatulis. Lafayette.
Cocodrie.
Cocodrie.
It's not that hard.
It's not Cocodrie.
It's not
It's not
Cocodrie.
Cocodrie.
It's not Cocodrie.
It's not Cocodrie.
Listening
Why
to
did
the
I say
anchor
that?
who was stationed in NOLA made my stomach hurt. The guy was terrible. You know that you know damn good and well that you don't know how to pronounce Chapatulis, okay? Like, he looked at the word, he knew he was going to butcher it, he said it anyway.
Ask somebody.
Okay. Same thing with Cocodrie. You said cock-a-dree. It's not cockadree.
He said Cocodrie.
Another one, Cantori's still the GOAT.
Did you hear the snake thing with Cantori?
Yeah.
Oh, what an idiot.
Yeah. But he redeemed himself.
What an idiot.
I watched Cantori interviewed somebody back at the station. He was conducting the interview.
Yeah.
He was interviewing somebody that was inside, dry, high and dry, in 90-mile-an-hour winds, water up to his knees, and he was wearing tanning bed goggles.
Saw that.
And he was doing the interview. Kept it cool, like, oh, and what do you think about this? As like a tree limbs flying by his face. He's the guy, man. He's a monster. I got some suggestions, though, Matt. I think Stale Cracker should be a meteorologist. So anytime a storm hits the Gulf, Stale Cracker should be the one giving the updates.
Okay.
If we can't have Stale Cracker, I want Hold the Mayo.
Now, Hold the Mayo would be awesome.
I think Hold the Mayo would be awesome.
Okay.
And we could get Am I Live to call in, and it could be a whole thing. If there's a hurricane named Drew that enters the Gulf and it's a thing, if Hold the Mayo's not the meteorologist and Am I Live doesn't call in, it's a missed opportunity. Yeah, I'm live.
Yeah, I'm live.
Okay, so there's one projected, I think, in a couple weeks to possibly spin up. I need all y'all to clean up your act and be better next time. Sincerely, Ryan.
All right, it's after further review. We'll do kick
Can
rocks.
I have that water?
Oh, yeah.
Super thirsty.
Do you realize that my bottle of Evermore that sits here, this is a set prop. I mean, it's an actual bottle of Evermore that I went to the store and bought. But it sits here. I don't drink this one. I have mine. Look, mine's almost empty, but I have my big bottle of Evermore.
I'll replace it.
This sits here. And then, like, every week you come in and then you drink my Evermore. And so then if I forget to go get a new bottle on Monday, then I'm on the show Monday and I don't have my set prop.
But you have a big giant one you could always stick up there.
That's true. Here you go.
Thanks, bro.
I love you. You can have it.
You're the man.
All right. Drink Evermore, too. Get a generator from Optimize.
Yep.
And drink Evermore.
Evermore water's good.
EVAMOR, Evermore.com. All right. Are you going to try to chug the whole thing again? You did that last time and you almost threw up. That's a 32-ounce bottle of water.
It's so good. It's so crisp.
It is. You probably got about 10 ounces right there.
It's clean. Goes down good.
So good. It's natural artesian water.
That's a nice bottle of water there, bud.
Our guy, Greg Lehman, texted me on the show text line and was like, saying natural artesian water is redundant. You shouldn't say that. I was like, hey, I'd send him a picture. What does the label say?
Natural artesian water.
Yeah. Take it up with marketing over there, Greg Lehman. It's AFR.
After further review.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Oh, you know what they got at Clegg's?
What?
Buckbusters.
Oh, it's that time.
You know what they got?
I'm going to the camp Saturday.
Mobucks.
I'm going to pick some up.
Deer corn. Some other kind of brand, something brand.
Rice.
Rice brand.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm not a hunter. We talk about it every year. I'm not a hunter, but I fully endorse your
You've
ability.
been out to the camp too. You took a ride on Ryan's big golf cart.
Yeah, Ryan's big golf cart. I took Drew last year. It was last year around Christmas, wasn't it? Somewhere around Christmas time.
He had fun.
He really did. Drew really did enjoy it. We went and saw Ryan's big golf cart, as he called it. What was that thing that we were riding around on?
A Polaris Ranger.
Yeah, should be in John Deere.
Or John Deere.
You can get Rice Brand over at Clegg's Nursery, any of the 4 locations, Siegen Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donamore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buckbusters, want to feed those deer? Get all the good stuff over at Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, rolling along here, Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Did you see what so I was in Mr. the Riot's office earlier today over at Parrish, and you've got a lot of your memorabilia up. You have your cleats from the World Series in a little case. Mm-hmm. You got a couple of lineup cards in there. Your first 2 homer game, first 5 hit game. Did you have multiple 5-hit games?
Mm-hmm.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It seems like that's a pretty rare thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, probably doesn't happen a whole lot. But yeah, no, I had multiple 5-hit games.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like you wouldn't. It's just I don't know.
I mean, I got a lot of hits. They were singles, but I mean, I got some hits.
Well, I did see that you were twice like the NL singles leader. Like you led the.
I got a lot of singles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
it's better than leading it in strikeouts.
But isn't that what you always say though? It's like it's the merry-go-round. It's get on base. I remember the big issue that you had back in the day with Lou is that you wouldn't take walks.
Yeah.
And he hated you because you wouldn't take a walk.
Yeah, just walk, son. What are you doing? I mean, come on. What are you just go down to first base? It's
Why wouldn't you do that?
You don't get paid on walks.
Well, I mean, that sounds really selfish. It
is what it is.
That's contrary to what you always say about being a team offensive guy.
I mean, look, hey, listen. Sometimes you got to look out for you, bro.
All right, so what else did you? Oh, you had batting helmet.
I had 2 of them. So I wear the Cubs one sometimes because I think it's funny because it doesn't have the ear flap.
I know.
So I wear that one around the office every once in a while just to keep everybody on their toes.
Yeah. And then you have one from LSU.
I've got an LSU helmet, which is great. And I don't know if you noticed the pictures on the wall. So I have my 3 World Series jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a picture underneath those jerseys of like a candid moment with those teams. I do not have one with LSU. And I'm searching. Not like a team,
a team photo.
Not a team photo.
Like the one you have of the Giants, it's like a locker room photo when you're all together, arms around each other, beers and all that sort of stuff.
And then I have one on the plane where it's a poker game and you got like 15 dudes looking at the poker table.
I did see that. That's
which
right.
So I'm trying to find something from LSU that's just like, one of those where but it's tough, man. I mean, that was a while back.
So I bring that up because I don't know if you saw this, but MLB is going to allow or is going to have advertising on batting helmets during the postseason. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Let's see. It's with Strauss, a German apparel company that entered the U.S. market. So here's the helmet. Paulie, if you want to pull that up, I guess this is how it's going to look, huh? I guess that's what it'll look like. What do you think of that?
Oh, that's going to be on the side, like big like that?
I guess so. I mean, that's normally where you would see like the team logo route, right? But I guess
team's in the front.
Oh yeah, so nothing on the side. So I guess they keep going team logo front, nothing on the side. Because that would be the one ear flap, right? Because the other side there's no ear flap. You wouldn't be able to put anything on the other side, yeah?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you could. The ear flap's below that, so I mean, you could technically put something on the other side. I mean, listen. Here's the thing. I don't hate it because I'm imagining these folks, the Strauss folks, are paying a boatload of money to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all that cash, I'm assuming, is going to be split up amongst the players. It probably goes into the licensing pool, maybe. I'm assuming. The union's got it structured pretty good for the players.
How does that work, though?
I'm okay with that.
How does that work, though, for ad deals like that? Like, do the players get a cut of the of the ad revenue like that?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. It's a good question.
Or is
because
that
this would fall under that umbrella? You're correct. You know what would be interesting though, if the players could go headhunt their own deals, and
Yeah, they'll never allow that.
and then have and advertise on the jerseys.
They'll never allow it.
I'd be sick.
They'll never allow it.
It'd be a free market though. You can go do your thing, man.
But again, like you said, everything's collectively bargained, and they'll never allow that because that real estate's too valuable. It's like why? Look, it's like, for example, Tom Brady. This was always a thing, right? Tom Brady was an Under Armour athlete,
right?
But the NFL is Nike, so he would wear his Under Armour stuff in pregame, but for the game he would have to go put on the Nike stuff, right? And so a lot of times you see guys, maybe like if Tom Brady had Under Armour, like he would maybe tape over the tape his shoes to tape over the Nike logo, if that's what you had to do. But still in his jersey, he still got, maybe they can wear whatever cleats. Maybe they can wear whatever cleats they want in the game. But the jersey still has a Nike logo on it, Yeah. It's interesting how that goes. I didn't know. I thought you'd be maybe a little more traditionalist who wouldn't want to see that.
No, look, it's all going that way. I think you look at the amount of money that the soccer leagues bring in, and the amount of advertising that they have, on their players, on the uniforms, on the jerseys. Yeah. I mean, it's a method. I think I'm all for it if it can increase the pay for the players. I think it's awesome. I mean, you've got eyeballs. It's happening. You're generating interest. I don't want to see it look like a NASCAR, but
why not?
You can do it tastefully, I think. And
why not? I
don't know. I think there's there's a line there that it'd be too much. I mean, you love the Yankees. I love the Yankees uniforms. I love Penn State. I love the Lakers. I like the traditional. I love the Dodgers. I like the traditional unis. I think it would suck to see the Yankees pinstripes with a bunch of ads all over it. One or two maybe done tastefully. I'm cool with it, but I don't know.
I guess I think there's a way to do it tastefully, but you already have ads on jerseys and things like that. It's just the way it's going. I think we build it up in our mind to be a certain thing, and we get upset about it, and then they play the game, and you don't really care. Yeah, I mean, it's a branding thing. It's what it is. Like, I mean, the Lakers have with the Wish, thing. I mean, it's a Lakers jersey. Like the Celtics, these are traditional historic. There's a way to do it tastefully, and they're going to do it. I mean, you mentioned NASCAR. The same thing that I always bring up is the Champions League, the soccer in the
Champions League, Premier League,
Premier League. That's the Premier is what I was thinking of. Like. I think we were talking about this yesterday. The jerseys that say Emirates. I don't even know what team that is, but I know that it's just the jersey is an ad.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I was just curious as a player what your take would be. It's interesting though to hear your perspective that if in fact the players are sharing the revenue, that might change how you feel about it.
Yeah, I remember when I think it was 9/11. 9/11 hit. We had. Yeah, I guess it was 9/11. We had a red cross on our helmet.
Oh yeah,
when I was in Chicago, I actually kept that helmet. It's somewhere. I have it somewhere in my attic. But it was cool. I mean, it is what it is.
All right. If you don't like that, then you can kick rocks.
It's time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge, or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
You know what can kick rocks, Matt?
What can kick rocks, Ryan?
Concussions.
Kick rocks.
I don't like them. There's nothing about it that I like.
Yeah.
My guy Tua playing his heart out, just trying to win the game. And I think it's his third documented, which means there's probably 2 or 3 or 4 more mixed in there, where he just toughed it out and kept going. I've seen some reports that, that he's considering retirement and this.
Wait,
and
I'm sorry. Have you seen a report that he's considering it, or that people have said he should?
It's been talked about.
I
don't know if he said. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've seen. I just want to be.
Yeah.
Because that's something I don't want to misspeak there. I've seen where people have suggested he should. Like Antonio Pierce, the head coach of the Raiders, they said he would tell Tua that he should retire. Anyway, I just want to clarify.
Yeah, I mean, and I think there's two thoughts here. Yes, you're risking lifelong complications and this and that, but also you've got George Foreman running around who's probably had 500 concussions in his life, doing his thing. So anyway, there's There's two ways to think about it. Anyway, regardless, concussions can kick rocks. Can one of you nerds that's super, super smart figure out how we can prevent it / treat it? Please, because I don't like them.
You know, man, I'll tell you this, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but there are things like the Guardian cap, like the padded
yeah.
Like, you can wear them, and they've approved wearing them in games. It's just nobody wants to wear it because it looks silly. So, are you worried more about how you look or about preventing head injuries? I mean, that's something that I would say, okay, Tua, like you should legit be wearing a Guardian cap if you're that susceptible already. If you're going to keep playing, you need to flush the whole bravado about how you look on the field and wear the damn thing if it's going to help protect your brain. Anyway, I don't think that's weak or dumb. I think I think it's more bold and brave to say, bleep, I don't care what you think. I'm trying to protect my brain.
That's
you
right.
can laugh at me because I'm wearing a Guardian cap? Bleep you.
Yeah, I'm going to laugh at
you. Go get CTE, moron.
And I can laugh at you while I go cash these game checks.
Yeah.
Wearing my Guardian cap. Carl Hangland. You know Carl?
I don't think I do.
Yeah.
Carl?
Carl's involved in a couple hit and runs in Boulder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I can't say I know Carl, but I know of Carl.
Yeah, he was involved in a couple hit and runs and said, you know what? I'm taking this thing all the way to Folsom Field. I'm not surrendering. I'm driving this thing onto the 50-yard line. My truck's going all the way onto the field.
Look
if you
at your
guys
guy.
want me, come and get me.
There he is right there. Look at him.
Took his shirt off.
Took his shirt off.
Said, how
Just
you like
right
me now?
there.
How
Come
you like
get
me
it.
now? Me and my S10.
Bro, he left a big old rut on that field too, man. Are they? No, they're not at home. They're at Colorado State. That's tomorrow night.
He
That's
did it.
true.
So I don't know how.
Look at your guy. Like, look at what he did to the field. Paul, can you pull that up? There it is. Look, I mean, bro, look at that tire. I mean, how deep is that rut?
That's in there, bro.
I mean, it's halfway up the tire.
Yeah, that's in that. The tire's gone. That's just a rim. I don't know where the tire is.
Oh, that's true. So he's just digging into there with. You're right. That is just the
he's
rim.
just getting in there, bro.
Oh man,
he's in it. He's
that's
in it.
a shame, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame.
It's a shame and awesome all at the same time.
I mean, this guy.
How did he get in?
So I would tell you this, man.
I mean, from the looks of his vehicle, he just ran through some crap to get in there, probably. But
I can't say. Like, I've been to Folsom Field before, and it's just open.
Really?
Like, LSU.
Could you drive your vehicle into Tiger Stadium? Like, I don't know how you would do that.
The gates are all closed. Like, they have. Tiger Stadium used to be pretty accessible. Like, you could just kind of walk in and find a gate somewhere. The old dorms. You could find a way to get in. It's pretty locked down now, especially since the expansions. And when they built the exterior shell and the expansions, they put gates everywhere. It's just like, it's just almost impossible to find a way into Tiger Stadium. I'm not saying you can't, but it used to be easy. I know, because I used to do it all the time. My roommate was a klepto. He'd see what signs he could steal off the wall and whatnot. Got some really good ones, too.
Yeah.
Still got them at the house.
I like that. Christian McCaffrey can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Okay.
I took him first in my fantasy draft, and now he's hurt. And I think he's going to go on the IR. And his backup, Jordan something or other, decided to be the best back on the planet.
Oh, man. Or maybe he just plays on the best team.
So McCaffrey, if he ever does come back, we've got this other guy who's Barry Sanders, part 2. So Christian, bro, you can kick rocks. You ruined my fantasy team.
Ruining it. You ruined it.
You ruined.
You ruined it.
That's it.
That's it. By the way, I would like to respect the fact I'm very proud of you, because I just looked up and you took my Evermore, right, which I was glad to give you.
Thank you.
Because you're thirsty, and there's my product I played. And I looked over there, and I looked up at the screen, and I looked at what you did. Logo facing out. I know that was intentional too, and where you placed it. On the other side of the bat, logo facing out, between the ball and the hat. So on that shot, it's very clearly seen. Very proud of you.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Very proud of you.
It's a good water.
AFR.
After further review.
Brought by the Watermark Hotel, the Renaissance Hotel, 2 great hotel properties in Baton Rouge, Watermark downtown, Renaissance South. I was actually talking to Nathaniel, GM over at the Renaissance earlier today. Awesome dude. They're getting geared up for a big weekend. You want to get on by, check out Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel. Weekend's upon us. Maybe you pop on into Tallulah tonight. You have yourself a cocktail. Maybe you have dinner. You're looking for a place to hang out. Always a great spot over there. And remember, you got a lot of football weekends coming up. You got family coming in from out of town. friends coming in from out of town. Great spot to stay in Baton Rouge, right there. The Renaissance, right there on Bluebonnet, across from Perkins Row and the mall. Easy proximity to I-10. Got all the amenities you want, workout facility, beautiful views. Proximity, as we mentioned, to the mall, to Perkins Row. Easy to the interstate to get into campus. It's right there. Of course, we talk about the Watermark downtown as well. Now, people love the Watermark. It's Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Not me saying it. You and the best of 225 voted the Watermark the best hotel in Baton Rouge. So whether it's the Watermark or the Renaissance, you can't go wrong. Watermark and Renaissance Hotels.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Real slow, but the fellas be yelling. Talk to me now.
Look, we got a great challenge going up to Dallas, playing against a really good football team. I think they're very well coached in all 3 phases, so it's certainly a tough challenge for us, and yet one that we're excited about the opportunity. So we look forward to it, and we'll embrace the opportunity.
Saints head to Dallas, take on the Cowboys. What a season-opening win for the black and gold. Is it a black and gold Super Bowl? Is that what's happening?
No, it's not what's happening.
Why do you hate the Saints?
I don't hate the Saints.
Why are you so negative?
They're not going to win the Super Bowl.
Why do you only point out negative things?
They're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're not good enough. I'm pissed off about it because I want them to lose every game and get the first pick in the draft. That's what I want to.
You want them to dumpster fire for Nussmeier.
I mean, actually, I don't think he'll be the first pick in the draft, so it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but that's okay.
I'll remind you, 2 games into the 2019 season, nobody was thinking Joe Burrow was going to be the first pick in the draft. But the season went along, and then it became pretty clear he was vying for it. And by the time he got into November, it was like, holy crap, he's probably right there. It was him or Tua. And then they beat Bama, and then he went they won the championship. He went to the combine and pro day, and it became very clear.
He may be, and I hope he is.
Could
But I
happen.
don't think he will be. And the
He's going to go to New York and throw the ball to Malik Neighbors.
that'd be fun.
I mean, because let's be honest, Carolina is the worst team in the league. They had the first pick last year, but because they traded it the year before to get Bryce Young, they didn't get to select first overall. The Bears did. The Bears had the Panthers pick. Well, the Panthers are the worst team again this year. They'd have the first pick. I don't think they're going to take a quarterback again because they drafted Bryce Young. So we'll see how the season plays out. So I think they would be more inclined if they had the first pick to listen to offers for the first pick. So who is a quarterback-needy team that's close enough to the top of the draft that would trade there? I'm playing out this hypothetical with
The
you.
Saints.
I picked the Saints 6-11 this year. They looked awesome on Sunday. Awesome. I still think they have a daunting schedule. Maybe they're better than 6-11, but it could still be in the 7-8 win range. That's not going to get you the first pick. It's not going to get you a top 5 pick. And I don't think the Saints are going to be aggressive enough to move up. I say it every year. I'm not trying to look ahead to the draft already, but you went down this road. Until I see the Saints take a quarterback in round 1, I'm never going to believe they're going to take a quarterback in round 1 because they've been an organization since 1967. 1967. It's a long time. It's almost 60 years. You know how many times they've taken a quarterback in round 1?
Twice.
Once. Archie Manning, that's it. The end of the list. You know how many times they've taken a quarterback in round 2?
Twice.
Never.
Oh, man.
Ever.
Maybe that's why they stunk so bad
Yeah.
when we were kids.
You think? Of course it is.
Why don't they draft quarterbacks?
They've never committed to the position.
Why?
They got lucky with Drew Brees.
They did.
That Miami passed. You had a quarterback coming off what many thought could have been a career-ending injury, and you ended up having a Hall of Fame quarterback for a decade and a half. And so they've tried to find the next one. They thought they were going down that path with Jameis. It didn't work out. Now they're trying that with Carr, although I think this is, you know how I feel about this. But I don't, especially with Carr under contract next year, I should say you're financially bound to Carr next year either way, no matter what happens. You've drafted Haener, you've drafted Rattler. Like the Saints aren't taking a quarterback at the top of the draft next year. They're just not. So, I mean, I think your better path forward is find a way to win with the guys you got. That's going to be your better path because going the other way, like the bottoming out scenario, even if you do bottom out, because you got Haener, Rattler, and Carr under like financially bound next year, 50 or 60 million bucks against your cap next year, you're not like he's here no matter what next year anyway. So you're not dumpster firing for Nussmeier. I'll tell you what's a better option. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Be good enough this year, be meh. Then next year, have Garrett come back for a 5th season. And then next year, bottom out, dumpster fire for Nussmeier in the 26th draft. How about that? Got those wheels turning?
Yeah. Okay. I'm all right with that. Yeah, they beat the crap out of that out of Carolina. It was pretty awesome.
It was awesome to watch, man. I don't know how much I think they can replicate that. Well, let me be very clear. Of course, they're not replicating that this week against Dallas. You're on the road against one of the best teams in the NFL. So you're not going to go win 47-10. It's a 6-point line, which actually is it 6 or is it 6? Where is it right now? Muse, have you seen it? I'm trying to refresh.
6.5 earlier today.
Let me see if I can. LSU was 6.5. No, Saints and Dallas are 6 right now.
6. Okay.
Let's see. It opened at 6. It's still at 6. I think the LSU is 6. LSU 6.5. I think is the current line on that. So look, I mean, it's rare that you see touchdown spreads in the NFL, but here you have it. We'll see how they might be able to manufacture or make it through this week with going up to Dallas. All right, you can get your questions for Theriot. We'll do Ask Ryan to wrap up the hour. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. It's that easy. LASIK, PRK, maybe you had LASIK before. PRK could be an option if you're starting to have issues now. Maybe you're nearsighted, or you're farsighted. You need the readers on the end of your nose, or you need the flashlight to see the menu when you're in a dark restaurant. That custom lens replacement could be the answer for you. If you want to see 20/20 without contacts or glasses, the Williamson Eye Center has a solution for you. All you got to do is call and set up that consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. Tom Brady will be on the call for Saints and Cowboys.
He didn't like his performance last week.
Did you see that? We were talking about it earlier. I didn't see anything about it.
I saw he said he's got some things to work on. He's hard on. Tom's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
He's hard on himself.
It's also a job that a lot of people think they can do. You think you just go in there and talk. It's just not that easy of a job.
It's not. I've done it. I have fun with it.
You did color? When did you do color?
Yeah, I've done color. I've done a couple LSU, just like filling in. I've done like some high school
for TV
stuff.
or for radio?
Radio. I tried. You and I tried to. I don't know if you tried, but I tried to get you and I to go do the LSU baseball stuff a few years back, and we got just totally and it pissed me off so bad because the clown that was what's his name was doing. I'm like, this guy's tired. This guy's tired putting people to sleep. Like Matt and I would crush that, and I got like, nah, we're.
I think it was like when the SEC network was expanding, they were going to carry every game. Like you tried to make a pitch for you and me to do LSU baseball games.
Yeah, they were like, nah, we're good. Like what? You don't want us to go do that?
You got so pissed.
I was like, are you serious with Sleepy John over here putting come on, what are we doing?
No,
we would have
they've
killed
got
it.
Well, no, I mean it's like it's Lynn and Ronnie and Ben McDonald. Oh, stop it. Stop. They do a good job. No. I do not. I want to be very clear. I do not endorse this commentary.
You don't have to.
I do not endorse that.
I
think they do a good job.
Turn that on.
I do not endorse this at all.
It's like watching golf on Sunday after you went out the night before.
That is not even accurate.
It's 100% what it is. And we would have killed it. We would have killed it.
Hold on.
It would have been
us.
Like Harry Carey. It would have been Harry Carey. It'd have been
Steve Stone and Harry Carey.
Oh, it'd have been
look,
awesome.
We would cry. Yes,
crush it.
I think we would do a great job. However, the two things are not mutually exclusive. The broadcast can be good. The current TV broadcast can be good, and we could have also done a good job if given the opportunity.
I agree with that.
So don't criticize the current broadcast. I think they all do good. Lynn and Ronnie and Ben and they all do a good job.
I think Ben makes me laugh. I think Ben does a good job.
They're great.
Ben's got a flat top. I like Ben.
I know you do. You've liked Ben since you were 10 years old.
The other two are nice fellas.
Stop.
They're nice fellas, I'm sure.
I do not endorse this
I get
at
it.
all.
They're nice fellas. At some point, you got to hang it up. Like, you're putting folks to sleep.
They're not putting anybody to sleep.
When nobody listens to the TV, they turn it off and turn the radio on. You're putting people to sleep. That's a thing.
That's not a thing.
That's 100%
That's not a thing.
Listen to Doug. That's what we need. A little action, a little excitement. Doug gets it.
Like when Lynn Rollins calls a homer, you're going to tell me that's not excitement?
You want excitement, pal? I'll give you excitement.
Did you just call me pal?
I'll give you excitement, pal. Listen to this.
What are you, my 92-year-old New Orleans grandfather?
Listen to this. How good would we be?
We would be good.
In a 3-hour setup that's boring. Baseball games take forever and boring. Can you imagine the stories and the tangents? It would have been fire. And who was it? Who was the guy that told me no?
I'm not telling you the answer to that. Do not say this out loud.
It was an LSU guy.
Do not. We're going to break. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Action Industries, actionindinc.com. And by the way, doing stuff like that will guarantee that you never get that opportunity.
I don't want it anymore. I'm off it.
That's bull. You do want that.
I don't want it.
If we ever had the opportunity to call it, if we get to talk about Action. Action Industries is a proud part of LSU Athletics, and this year they sponsored the mound visits in the baseball game.
I'd have sold so much Action.
There'd have been action everywhere. There'd have been action.
All kind of services.
Action on the field. There'd have been action in the stands, action in the booth, action everywhere. Action Industries. They had 2 turnarounds coming up. It's turnaround season. Did you know that?
I did know that, actually.
I don't know if you knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you knew that. So 4 to 5 week turnarounds. They need 100 to 125 people. So welders, pipe fitters, crane operators, boiler makers. If you're looking, they're looking for you. Apply online or in person at their Highway 30 office in Geismar. Ask for Zach. It's Action Industries. Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, wrapping up
opposite
hour number
of
2.
NOLA Bounce. This is not NOLA Bounce.
This is not NOLA Bounce.
Well, I don't even know what this is.
This is just generic music that Muse played coming out. It's 4:51. Give him a break, all right?
He's the Lynn Rollins
just
of producing right now. It's
God,
just,
Thank you. That's a compliment. Lynn's
It's not
fantastic.
okay for you to sit there and do
fantastic,
this.
all right.
All right, let's get to Ask Ron. Talked about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You know when you get married, you work so hard and scrap together, you save, and you buy that diamond ring.
Mm-hmm.
And she's thrilled and ecstatic and over the moon. Hopefully she says yes, right? That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
She says yes. And then you get married and you get along in life and you start having kids and you grow your family and you get on in your career. And then maybe you're doing a little better than when you were in your 20s and just trying to scrap together some money. And you think, you know what I would love to do for this special anniversary? I'd like to do like Beyonce said, and let me upgrade you.
She said that.
She did say that.
Oh.
It's a whole song.
Okay.
At Lee Michaels, how about you trade in that old diamond for a new, bigger diamond?
I love the trade-in idea.
You can do it at Lee Michaels. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com is the website. 9 locations in all. Have the Lee Michaels experience. One place. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel says people should not pressure quarterback Tua Tagovailoa to retire. Tagovailoa suffered his third concussion in 2 years last night against the Bills. McDaniel at his news conference today.
I think it would be so wrong of me to even sniff that subject, and it's more in line of actually caring about the human being.
Mike McDaniel, who says the only focus now should be on Tagovailoa's health. Steelers quarterback Russell Wilson questionable for Sunday against the Broncos. That means Justin Fields will likely get another start. Baseball, Rangers GM Chris Young gets a contract extension and a promotion to team president. This is his 4th year in the team's front office. Day 1 of the Solheim Cup in Virginia. Team USA leads Team Europe 6-2. The Americans are trying to win the Cup for the first time since 2017.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. It flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Guess who's back again?
I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
With Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Let me find out your ass spanks the hide your gut. Let me find out your stomach bigger.
Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. We got to get the tail extended. What was that?
I don't know. I was about to ask you what that was.
That was a beeping sound. Oh, is that the battery that's about to go out? That's the battery on that thing that's about to go out. It shuts down the whole station. Please alert Bo. That's happened before. I'm serious.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Call Bo.
All right.
Make sure he knows. When that thing starts beeping, that's the battery. About every 6 months or so, that thing goes out. When it does, the whole thing shuts down.
It's over.
We got to be on backup power. We need to run extension cords and all that sort of stuff. So please alert Bo that thing is beeping. Bo is Bo Wegman, our engineer. Boy, wouldn't this be an interesting 5 o'clock hour?
Shut her down, baby.
Shut her down. All right. Glad to have you aboard with us here. LSU, South Carolina. We'll get you a preview and pick here at the bottom of this hour. We'll pick Saints-Cowboys in the next segment. We'll get to Ask Ryan to wrap up the show. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on a Friday edition of AFR. Oh, tomorrow, we're at Don Juan Cigar Bar for the game. And so T-Bob and I will be there. And our friends at Got Lit, they're giving away a lights package of $750.
What?
But you got to come by Don Juan tomorrow. Drop your name in the hat. They'll pull a name at the end of the day. Only for people who go. So Got Lit's one of our great sponsors on Whiskey and Wine.
What kind of lights? What are we talking about here?
It's Christmas lights. They're Christmas light installers.
How much did your house cost? Like, what's $750 going to get me?
I've talked to Derek about this. I'm not going to say pricing because it really does vary. The size of the house, kind of like the shape of the roof. Like, the steeper the slope on the roof, the more difficult, the more it's going to cost. So, and then there's things, if you want to do trees and bushes, like, it can vary.
What's one bush cost? Just
I don't know.
Ballpark. I'm not going to hold you to it. $20?
I really don't know what one bush costs.
$25 for a bush.
But what I'm going to tell you is, Got Lit's awesome.
Yeah, I get it.
They come, install your lights. If anything happens, a bulb goes out or something, they come and repair it during the season. When the season's over, they come and take them away.
What do you pay for your house? That's what
I'm not going to tell you that.
Couple gur?
I'm not going to tell you.
Couple jeebers?
Maybe. And I have a wife that I've told you before who is
getting the Christmas spirit over there, don't you?
Her celebrity hall pass would be Santa Claus. She is, she is the most Christmassy Christmas person in the world. I mean, our house, I'll tell you all the time, on Black Friday, it's like some bomb went off in Santa's workshop.
I like that.
I mean, just as soon as Thanksgiving's over, boom, we go to Clegg's, get the tree, and then she is ready. It is pumpkin spice, cinnamon, whatever, peppermint, mocha, chocolata, Santa Claus, singing snowmans everywhere. It is on.
So $750. If it's not enough, I'm just trying to decide if it, I've never done that before because we do it ourselves, but I'll be honest, I don't like doing it.
I hate it.
I'll
never do it.
I hate putting them up. I really hate taking them down.
And
I hate storing them.
Store them.
I always break some stuff or lose something.
So with Got Lit, you do nothing.
Is it your lights?
No, that's my point. Like, you don't even have to buy the lights. It's they have all the inventory. So they come, they look at your house, they assess, they say, here's, what's your budget? Here's what we could do. They bring the lights, install them. If anything happens during the season, they'll fix it. When the season's over, they come, take everything down, take it away. You do nothing.
Let me say this.
GotLitLights.com. GotLitLights.com.
Let me say this for all the listeners out there now.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you're stupid. I'm just, seriously, you're just dumb. You're a glutton for punishment. something. It's going to rain. It's going to trip a breaker, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be pissed. You're out there in your rain suit trying to fix it. Next thing you know, you electrocute yourself.
I know.
But Gotlit does all that for you. Like,
all of it.
This is the easiest sell on the planet. Like, why wouldn't everybody do this? What is it? Gotlit.com?
Gotlit.com. Lights.
Gotlitlights.com.
Gotlitlights.com.
I'm doing this.
You really should.
I am.
So they,
because I'm not an idiot.
So they sponsored part of like a few games last year,
check this out.
And they got so inundated. So Derek this year, let's just say they staffed up and planned way in advance.
Tilly does it.
Yeah, Tilly did.
Tilly just texted me. He does it.
Yeah.
His house looked good.
Did you see my house? It looks awesome. I look like Clark Griswold's house.
And here the whole time I thought Leslie and Richard did that themselves. They were drinking some hot cocoa and
some eggnog.
Leslie, Richard, and the boys were out singing carols and putting lights up. But no, it was the fellas from Gotlit Lights.
That's who it was. All right, let's do our pick'em segment. Muse, hit us with a little bit.
I'm trying to keep talking about it so they give me free Gotlit Lights. That's why I'm just still going. I'm still going because I want some free stuff.
Or you know what you could do?
Give it to me.
You could come to Don Juan tomorrow.
And put my name in the thing.
You could put your name in the hopper, and if they draw your name, you could get $750 installation.
All right. Okay.
Are we getting Erica or no?
I got nothing.
Did you call the landline?
I did call the landline.
Oh, wow. Do we have an open for this?
This is the open for this. It's just the music.
Oh, it's just the Big Ten on CBS theme?
Well, because normally we have a guest picker, and we create an open for the guest picker. And that's kind of how that goes. Like, I thought we were going to have E-Rock, so I queued up Cruel Summer.
Oh.
Like, I mean, yeah, like we were gonna.
Boy, how disappointing. And I wonder what she's doing. So if you were calling her, did it go straight to voicemail?
Well, so when you told, I know Ryan called, when it went to voicemail, you're like, Drew probably has her phone, let's do the landline. So that's what I did.
Yeah, straight to voicemail. So
I just went with the landline option there.
Oh, this one's on me, boys. This is on me. I'll take this. This one's on me. Nah, this one right here.
How noble of you.
This one's on me. I'll take it.
No worries.
I'll
just
take
the
it.
SEC opener. I could have given you a pass on Nichols. My goodness. All right, tonight, Arizona at Kansas State. Little ranked-on-ranked matchup. Who you got there, Mr.? Oh, Paulie, can we see the standings?
Who is it?
How did we do last week? Let's see. Oh, did we keep last week's record?
I beat the crap out of you last week.
Oh, sorry. Okay, there it is. So I was looking at Russ and Kate at the top. Okay, so last week I was 5-5. You were 7-3. Okay, so on the season,
you're gonna do something to cheat to win this thing, but
I'm 9-6. You're 11-4. So you're 2 games ahead of me right now. All right, here we go. First game.
Let's go, baby.
Arizona.
Woo!
This is tonight. Arizona on the road at Kansas State. Friday Night Football. Fox, the Little Manhattan. Mr. The Ride, who you got?
What's the spread in this one?
Oh, maybe you should have done a little show prep.
Give me Kansas State.
I'll go Kansas State at home as well.
Of course you do. Of course you would, because that's who I picked.
Wouldn't it behoove me to go against you so I could make up the 2 games? Bama at Wisconsin.
I'll take Alabama in this one.
I'll take Bama as well. Memphis at Florida State, by the way. That is 0-2 Florida State. Mike Norvell against his former team, Memphis, who many think might be the prohibitive favorite as the G5 representative in the college football playoff.
I'll take Florida State. Of course you will.
You want to ask the line?
No. Florida State's going to win. They're going to out-athlete them.
Florida State.
Who are you taking?
Florida State.
Yep.
BC at Missouri. Ranked-on-ranked matchup.
I'll take Missouri.
I'll take Missouri as well.
Of course you do. Of course you would. All right, we need to switch this up. You pick first. You're picking first next time.
A&M at Florida. Your segment, A&M at Florida.
Give me A&M.
I'll take Florida.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Just picked up one.
Washington State at Washington. Apple Cup.
Oh, man, I don't know anything about any of these. You're going to have to tell me the line on this one. Give me something on this.
No.
Washington.
I'll go with Washington as well.
See, when I do this and I don't have anybody to, go off of.
Whose fault is it?
There's normally one game that's like a 21-point line, and I picked the wrong team.
That's not one of those. That's
I'll
tell you what that is. It's a 5-point line. It's less than a touchdown. West Virginia at Pitt.
Is West Virginia any good? I don't think so. I like Pitt here. Steel City. Give me Pitt.
So Pitt is quarterbacked by Eli Holstein. Remember him from Zachary?
Of course.
Went to Bama, transferred to Pitt, won the starting job. He rallied them last week. Big. They were down 21, I believe. Led them on a big rally. This game is at Heinz Field. It's in Pittsburgh. Or not. It's not Heinz Field. Acrisure Stadium.
What'd you say?
They changed the name of the stadium. I like West Virginia. I'm going to take West Virginia. What?
What's the line here?
It's a field goal. I think 2.5, actually. I saw West Virginia in the opener against Penn State. Penn State handled them pretty good. I think Neil Brown and West Virginia got a lot to prove. It's the backyard brawl is what they call it. I'd probably feel better if it was in Morgantown, but it's in Pitt. I don't disagree with your pick, actually. I think that's a coin flip game. But I'm just going against you. Ole Miss at Wake Forest.
Ole Miss. Give me the red.
Yep, same. Coach Prime. The Buffs are at Colorado State. Boy, this was a close one last year.
It sure was. Give me Coach Prime in this one. I'll take Colorado.
I love Colorado State and the points. But Colorado to win the game. Another close one. I think Shadur. Kind of like we saw yesterday with Texas State, unfortunately. Muse and I were on the wrong side on that one. Texas State against Arizona State gave them hell. Actually led 21-7 in that game. And ultimately, the bigger team just made the play late, got down, went and won the game. So I think similar here. And last but not least, LSU at South Carolina.
Give me the Tigers.
I'll give my pick later. But everyone knows who I'm picking in this game. I've literally said it all week. I feel about this game the way if you're a fan of the show and have listened for any length of time, you'll remember 2 years ago when Ole Miss came here. I was very adamant. I didn't even wait till Friday to make my pick. I made my pick on Monday of that week. And boy, the Ole Miss people got pissed off at me. Oh, the disrespect, the this and that. And I was right. I haven't felt this way about a game since that one.
Okay.
I'll get you my pick here, bottom of the hour. All right, let's pick Saints-Cowboys when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time.
You don't pay a dime.
752-0001. 752-0001. Hey, when you've been out and about, hopping up on people's roofs and all that stuff, you notice any down trees on HVAC units and stuff like that on the outside
That's
of the
a
house?
thing. That really happens.
Yep. I know. That's such a bummer. Hey, if you have an issue with your HVAC as a result of the store flooding around your HVAC, I mean, that's another thing. Give our friends over at River City's 1 Hour Air a call. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. They have more than double the amount of 5-star Google reviews of the next closest competitor. The reason's pretty easy. They do awesome work, and they've been around for 40 years. Felicia Chasson left this 5-star Google review. Always a wonderful experience with River City's 1 Hour Air. Cody S. has been out for my service a few times. He's thorough, communicative every time. Highly recommend for all your AC needs. Another 5-star review for River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
We're Rev Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs: reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. Rev Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
You can't win a championship without playing defense. Go to parishbuilt.com and sign up for the priority.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we have a huge challenge this week. With Dallas's front, they're really good, but I have all the confidence in our guys to go out there and compete at a high level. And so I was really proud of them, in that first game on how they played. It allowed me to go through my reads and go through my progressions and make decisions and, run or not. It really allowed me just to freely play quarterback, and it was fun.
The single biggest question that all of us had this entire offseason about the New Orleans Saints, the offensive line. They aced the test week 1 at home against Carolina. 47-10. The Saints ran for 180 yards in that game. They kept Derek Carr upright. Everything worked. The challenge ratchets up dramatically here this week. That was Derek Carr talking about his offensive line. The really, really, really big issue right now is that both of your starters on the left side, guard Lucas Patrick and left tackle first-round pick Taliesin Fuanga, both on the injury report on Friday. Fuanga missed practice on Thursday and Friday, as a matter of fact. Here was Dennis Allen on Friday talking about Taliesin Fuanga and what he's dealing with.
Just a little back tightness, like not a whole lot different than what he dealt with in training camp. So, look, I feel good about him, but we'll see how he is the next couple of days.
A little more from Dennis Allen on the rookie left tackle.
I'd say this about him: I think he's a little bit more mature than most rookies. Just in terms of where he's at mentally, where he came in mentally from knowing the game of football, how to play. Obviously there's certain things in the game plan that you gotta learn. But he's been in meetings. He was limited in practice on Wednesday, so he's really missed the last 2 days. We'll see where he's at tomorrow, but I feel pretty good about it.
I'll tell you what worries me, and not just for this week, moving forward. Dennis Allen saying it's the same thing he dealt with in camp. So Fuanga missed the last preseason game, went down in camp with a back injury, and now back tightness, and he's missed the last 2 days. It's week 2. A 17-game NFL season is something – he's a young guy, man. It's his first year in the league. He's never played a 17-game NFL season. And when you have a back issue from camp that lingers in now week 2, I can't help but think I'm not an NFL offensive lineman, but I deal with chronic back issues. It never goes away. And I hope that's not what this is. It's something that would linger throughout his career. I'm not suggesting that at all, but what I do know is when you have a back injury, it doesn't heal easily, and especially if you're a 320-pound dude with other 300-pound dudes crashing into you all the time. That has me a little concerned about this.
So, I dealt with this at LSU, and then first 2 years in the minor leagues pretty extensively, called spondylolisthesis. So basically it's a birth defect in my lower back where the vertebrae is not connected. If you x-ray my back, it looks broken.
Okay.
And it's one of those deals where it's there, you can feel it, it flares up, and then you wake up one morning and then it's just gone. It's a tightness, and it's fairly common. You don't really know it's there unless you have the physicals and stuff that high-level athletes have. If it's something like that where it can come and go, and then eventually you can kind of learn to play through it, I felt like Dennis Allen was alluding to when he said he was, mature beyond his years. It was almost like he's taking it easy on purpose and he kind of knows this is going to happen, and he knows the feeling, and he's going to be out there playing Sunday without saying that, something that the guys dealt with before. Because when I was going through it, that's kind of how it was. I, knew the things I needed to do to get back out there, but you're 100% right saying that that's one of those injuries. It's like a soft tissue, like a hamstring, like a quad. Once it happens, it's there. The only thing that fixes it is rest, and rest for a long time. These guys are not only playing the games and practicing, they're lifting weights, heavy weights throughout the season to maintain, what they've worked so hard for, and to prepare for the car wreck, which is a game on Sundays, and so that preparation piece involves a lot of pounding and wear and tear on your body. The back and the hamstring, I guess you could throw ankle in there too, or those injuries that they're just there, man, and you deal with it. Fortunately, they've got some great pain tolerance things you can take that get you through the game, and then you're good.
The issue is magnified this week, of course, because you're facing Micah Parsons and the Dallas front. As a matter of fact, Derek Carr in that same media availability talked not only about Parsons, but he talked about the Dallas pass rush, which this offensive line, which might be down a couple of guys, is going to face this week.
I mean, they're just really talented. They're really good all across the board. Everyone's going to talk about 11 and 90, but I mean, they got guys inside. They have some guys, other guys outside. I mean, they got guys all over the place, and they have an amazing coach, and Coach Zimmer and Coach Gunther's over there. I know Coach Gunther is with me with the Raiders, and he is one of the smartest coaches I've ever been around in my life. Just the way he sees things, and sees quarterbacks and sees coordinators, and the way he does that. And so, they have great scheme along with really, really good talent.
I'm going to be interested to see what the offensive line looks like. When you were talking, though, about just kind of dealing with it and getting ready for the weekend, it did remind me of Ryan Ramczyk. So Ramczyk, we know, isn't playing this year. His career very well could be over. Last year, effectively, every week, Tuesday's a day off in the NFL. Wednesday, he would be on the injury report every Wednesday as a veteran rest day. It was he just didn't practice on Wednesday. And then he'd be limited on Thursday and limited on Friday, or full on Friday. And then it was basically just the whole week was just getting him ready for Sunday. Mm-hmm. But it's different when you're talking about a guy that's been an all-pro in the NFL and a guy that has played one game in the NFL. But make no mistake, you're better with Taliesin Fuanga than any other option you have as far as shuffling the deck there. I'm curious if the Saints, if the way Kubiak calls offense, might be able to mask it a little bit. Look, we all know Trevor Penning's not had a great start. He's been bad to start his career. So much so that we've been calling him potential bust. He looked awesome.
That guy's terrible.
He looked awesome the other day. In the right system, where they're getting him out in space, he looked better. Like, he looked better, objectively.
Like better or good?
Good. Because what we know he can do is get athletic and go get into people's pads and move bodies. What he can't do is sit in a chair in a pass set and hold off an elite edge rusher. Yeah. He's terrible at that. And so you're not asking him to do that in this. So,
well, let me say this too. I don't care if you had the guy from Blindside, like the real guy from Blindside.
Michael Orr, yeah.
No, not Michael Orr, the one on the movie. He was so good. Like the actor. And I don't care. You're not blocking Parsons. Like, I don't care who it is.
Wait, Michael Orr is the real guy.
Yeah. I want the other guy. He was better than Orr. The actor was better than Orr.
No, I think that was the whole thing about that actor. The guy that's actor had never been an athlete before. Like, he had never played.
Yeah, but he can protect the passer.
It was a movie.
But he can protect.
That was a movie. That wasn't real.
He should have played. Like, that guy's better than Orr.
Just because he's a big guy?
Yeah, and he's better than Orr.
No.
He did some things in that movie that I've never. I don't care who it is. You're not stopping Parsons. So I think you just scheme, like, wherever he is, let's go the other way.
Just run the other way? But they got DeMarcus Lawrence over there.
Okay. Well, unless they line them up side by side,
yeah,
we're probably in trouble.
Yeah, probably in trouble there.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit of an issue. Now, here's the thing on the other side. So the Cowboys went to Cleveland last week and scored 33 against the Browns.
Cleveland! Yeah, no, that was my defense for my fantasy.
The Browns, by the way, were the best defense in the NFL a year ago.
Yeah, I took them like in the 5th round. Everybody laughed at me.
So we're all having this conversation now about, hey, all Dallas has is CeeDee Lamb. Jake Ferguson, their tight end, is hurt. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to play. Well, Marshawn Lattimore, Dennis Allen, it didn't practice on Friday. Dennis Allen gave this update on Lattimore Friday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we got to decide whether a guy's going to make the trip or not, But, I mean, my plan is Lattimore's on the trip. We'll see where he's at on game day. And if we feel like he's appropriate to play, then he'll be out there.
It doesn't sound encouraging. We'll see how that goes. It's just that, I mean, it's Friday, and there's 15 guys on the Saints injury report in week 2. That's just a bad omen. It's not. We talked about it a lot in camp, which was like every day in camp there was like another significant injury. And it feels like some of that, now that the season started, is kind of rearing its ugly head.
They came out of the chute too fast. They shouldn't have scored so many points. They should have just kept it a close game.
Some of it.
They should have saved. Yeah, they should have saved some. This seems like one of those games, like when you go like in baseball, you have a 3-game series. And one of them is just a throwaway game, like you're not going to win.
Yeah.
That's what
bullpen day.
This is a bullpen day.
It's a bullpen day.
Rest your veterans.
Rest the vets.
Bullpen day. That's kind of.
It's 1 out of 162.
That's what this.
You're not
feels
going
like.
undefeated.
That's right. That's what this feels like.
It kind of does. Noon Central on Sunday. Saints at Cowboys. Do you want to pick it?
Yeah. I mean, do I need to give you a score? I think the Saints are going to score some points, like 3. So, 27-3.
All right, I'm going to go 31-21. I'm going to pick Dallas to win it. I do think there's probably just too much. And look, and saying 31-21, I am probably disrespecting the Saints defense too much. A very good defense under Dennis Allen. It's been very good.
Yeah.
That is 31, quite honestly, is probably too many points.
Damn Ricky Jackson is something else, man.
Ricky Jackson is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
He can tackle.
Yeah.
Like, he can tackle.
He hasn't played in 20 years. Probably closer to 30 years, actually. Yeah.
The Dome Patrol.
They were awesome, man.
Yep.
But, after that, he then went to San Francisco. Played for the 49ers after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Him and Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, actually, yes. They were on the same team.
Yep. Didn't he cut his finger off in the middle of a game and keep playing? Ronnie Lott?
Ronnie Lott did, yeah. It was like the tip of his finger.
Warrior.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah, go Cowboys.
No.
I mean, go Saints.
Who dat?
But bullpen day. Just
feels like it. And let me give you a reason for optimism.
Don't buy too much into this game.
Look, I'm going to circle September the 29th at Atlanta. Because listen, I don't think you're going to win in New Orleans next week against Philly. So I think you start 1-2. But if you come back and you beat Atlanta to get to 2-2, you go to Kansas City, which you're going to lose. So you'll be 2-3. Then you're home against the Bucs, home against the Broncos on Thursday night. I think you can win both of those. If you do that, You're 4-3 through 7 weeks, and then the schedule lightens up. You do have to go to the Chargers, but then you're at Carolina, who stinks. You get Atlanta at home. You get Cleveland at home. You get the Rams at home. You got to go to the Giants, who stink. You get the Commanders at home. There's a path
to the Super Bowl?
I'm not going there, but there's a path to winning this division, and you can't go to the Super Bowl if you don't win the division. I think the division is still not very good. I still think 9 wins could win the division. I don't know that I think the Saints get there, but my point is this is your glass half full approach. I don't think you have to win on Sunday or next week at home against Philly. The one you got to circle and win is the 29th when you go at Atlanta. You get that one, and then you win the home games against Bucks, Broncos. I think you can be 4-3 after 7 weeks, and I think that gives you a real opportunity. But you just got to keep your head above water here over these next 4 weeks. You can't go lose your next 4, because if you do, then you've dug yourself too deep of a hole to get out.
And at that point, you just try to lose every one of them. Like, try to lose them is what I would do. Is that same guy still the GM? What's his name?
Mickey Loomis.
He's still the GM?
Yep.
We'll call Mickey.
You're going to call him, huh?
I don't know. I mean, we just see what that looks like.
Pick LSU, USC next.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Hey, have you watched the documentary, the Netflix series, Money Game, The Money Game?
No. How is it? Good?
Haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
But Gordon's folks sent me a note. He is pretty prominently featured in it because of all the NIL stuff he's done, the G team and all that stuff. So check it out if you haven't yet. That's the NIL documented. Shaq's production team did that. So check it out. And, of course, if you need an attorney, get the G team. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Offices all over the state of Louisiana. Call the 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. If you've been injured in an accident, you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work
creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
We got Muse locked in a little better now.
Much better.
Yeah. Maybe is the haze. Maybe he's beyond the haze right now at 5:37.
He's hungry. I know that much.
He did get up and go get a chicken wing in the break.
Yep.
You saw that?
Fire, I would recommend.
See?
10 out of 10.
He's hungry. He's locked in, though. I like it. This is a good one right here.
Looks like Muse got the munchies over there a little bit.
Happens. Part of it. Part of the deal.
Part of what?
Part of the deal.
The deal?
Yeah.
Part of your deal, Muse.
Not my deal.
Munchies.
Hey, how's it going over at Parish? I was at the office earlier today. Saw you in a meeting.
Busy at Parish.
Yeah.
Phones have been ringing. We've got the restoration piece.
Yes.
Water mitigation, if you have water and, all that stuff.
Mold remediation.
Drying out. Got the mold remediation, which inevitably happens down here in South Louisiana if you've been without power for a little while or if you got water. So I think people are surprised to know that services, not only roof issues, but demo, build back, all that stuff, we do that too, And so the it's been nice because the homeowners have only had to deal with one contractor.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, so I don't have to call, 4 different people to come do all this flooring. And then, like, no, we can handle it all from the roof pretty much all the way down and get you back to where you need to be.
Tricky part with that too is coordinating schedules when you have that many contractors, because sometimes they have to work around each other.
Mm-hmm.
When you have one company doing all of it, it's much easier.
Yeah, you've got the schedule.
Yeah.
And there's one point of contact.
There's one other thing that I would like to mention. And by the way, at Parish, we will service all of South Louisiana, essentially Alexandria below.
Mm-hmm.
So I get asked all the time, you do work in the New Orleans area? Absolutely. I mean, Joe Morales, one of our partners, lives in River Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we are very, very present in New Orleans and obviously South and the Gulf region or the Bayou region and the River region. So one thing, though, that was brought to our attention today, and if you're watching, you'll see this video, you'll see shingles flapping, and then when the wind stops, they lay back down. So if you go outside and look at your roof, you may not see shingles on the ground, but if your shingles came up, they flapped, they're creased, they're done.
Yeah, they're compromised, sure.
Because what's going to happen is the next time you have a storm, the shingles are going to lift up again, and rain and water is going to get underneath them, and then that's obviously going to get into your decking, and then you have major problems with water intrusion. So even if, this is why I would say it's so important to get an inspection. Like, even if you don't have shingles on the ground, even if you don't see damage, you've got to get someone who knows what they're looking for to see if they spot it. And it's not a ploy. It's not just to try to get you to get a roof. It's a lot of times you don't know what you're looking for, and you have to get up there to see if there's damage to these shingles, because then ultimately, even if it's just a portion of your roof, every time it rains heretofore, you're going to have water intrusion, and it's slow, and then eventually you're going to see water spots on your ceiling.
And once you see the water spot, all the things that we talked about earlier, that's already happened. There's already probably mold. You've got the decking issues. You've got sheetrock, drywall, painting issues. So, yeah, I mean, just to get up there and take a look and make sure everything's good, go to parishbuilt.com, you fill out the form. It's free. You're actually being smart by doing that, getting out in front of it. And look, we had sustained winds that were serious.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, to your point, there's going to be some kind of hidden damage that will rear its head here coming up pretty soon.
All right, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, or you can call us at 364-1007, 364-1007. I mean, you were on roofs today. Like, I literally saw pictures of you on roofs today. So I'm not getting on a roof. I'll get on a roof.
You've been on roofs.
I will get on a roof, but trust me, you do not want me inspecting your roof because I have no idea. But there are very competent, qualified people that can do that are part of our staff that would do that. Absolutely. Way better than me. I talk about roofs and sling hats.
You'll talk about roofs and sports on roofs. You and I have done that before.
Yeah, we have done that.
We should do that again.
We do, yeah. Parishbuilt.com. All right, LSU, South Carolina, what you got?
I got the Tigers. I mean, Tigers are going to win this thing. I would like to see, as everybody else in Baton Rouge probably, the running game really get going. I'd like to see the offensive line kind of impose their will and some of these backs that we've heard so much about, Caleb Jackson, who's got just a ton of potential, be able to take the ball and dominate a drive and punch it in and score 6 points. It's really what I'm looking for.
Okay. I understand a lot of the frustration that LSU fans have right now. We're tired of seeing LSU lose the opener. I get it. I say all the time, winning masks deficiencies and losing magnifies them. If Garrett Nussmeier hits the pass in the flat to Aaron Anderson and LSU scores and wins the game, nobody gives a flip about what happened against Nichols last week. Not one iota. You know what we're talking about? Man, what a great defensive performance by Blake Baker. Lincoln Riley offense. You held him to 20 points until the final 8 seconds of the game. Like, what a great improvement. Who cares about Nichols? When you're next, you'd be undefeated. You're top 10 whenever Ole Miss goes. That's how this goes. I've done this long enough, and that's how it goes. But you don't make the play late. You lose the game, and now all anybody focuses on is you magnify the deficiencies. I'm telling you right now, it is rare that I am like super, super, super confident with a pick. I picked LSU to beat Southern Cal. It didn't happen, but I picked the game right. There was a lot of 45 to 24s and all that stuff. I said, this is going to be a close game. These teams are mirror images of each other. I think it's a one-score game right to the end of the fourth quarter, the last possession. I just said I think LSU's offensive line is the best unit on either team, and LSU will be able to salt the game away or drive and kick the game-winning field goal or something. They had the opportunity. They had the lead, 2 possessions with the lead in the fourth quarter to go put it away. They couldn't do it. So I was wrong there. But the game played out. It was a close game. It was 10 to 10 and a half. It was a coin flip game. 2 years ago when Ole Miss came here, I didn't even wait till the weekend to make my pick. On Monday, Ole Miss was coming in undefeated, and we looked at it. They had a weak schedule. They ended up losing 4 of their last 5. On Monday, I was like, LSU's winning this game. Hands down, they're winning, they're going away. I feel the same today as I did then. I think a lot of people are just hesitant. There's a lot of trepidation. Remember, at that point, LSU had gotten blown out by Tennessee, so people were wondering, is LSU really that good? All that stuff. I feel the same about this. I cannot get there with South Carolina. I have watched this team play. Both games. They stink offensively. I've said this all week. They are a putrid offensive team. Lenora Sellers is a freshman. He's no good. Might be eventually. He's inaccurate. He's got a hell of an arm. He's got a cannon. He doesn't know where he's throwing it, and they don't have weapons. Offensively, Rocket Sanders is a good running back, but their offensive line is not very good. I don't know how Lenora Sellers, against a Blake Baker defense, with the type of pressures and looks he's going to cook up, is going to be able to, pick apart the LSU defense. That's not happening. So they're going to have to run the ball. Can South Carolina line up and go 8, 10, 12 plays right down the field against LSU continuously? I don't think so. Maybe, and if they do, I'll tip my cap and they'll win a game and we'll completely recalibrate, or at least I will. I'll speak for myself. I will completely recalibrate what I think about this LSU team. I thought this was a team that was 10-2, 9-3. I thought they'd beat SC and go 10-2. They lost to SC, so more like 9-3. If they lose this game to South Carolina, I will completely recalibrate my entire expectations, because if you can't go beat this heinous offense, you're not beating Ole Miss, you're not beating Alabama, you're probably not winning in College Station, you're probably not beating Oklahoma, you're going to struggle against Florida because DJ Lagway may be really good by the time you get to November. That's the week after Florida in games. But my point is, you have so many challenging games on your schedule. If you can't get past this team, if Lenora Sellers, friggin' Four Eyes, Rex Specs goes up and down the field on you.
Does he have glasses?
He wears rec specs. You haven't seen? Look up Lenora Sellers. Pull up Lenora Sellers, please. Find a rec spec picture of him and pull it up. Like, if you cannot go impose your will against this team, by the way, defensively, their defensive ends are good players. And their 2 defensive linemen are good players as well. They're good on the defensive front. But you're great as a pass blocking team, and they do not have anybody on the outside that can deal with Kyron Lacey and Mason Taylor and Aaron Anderson.
Mason Taylor!
And Xavion Thomas. And go down the list. CJ Daniels. They have nobody. There he is. There's Rex Specs. Like, they have nobody that can deal with the bevy of weapons you have. If you give Garrett Nussmeier time, he is going to throw for 300 yards in this game, and LSU should walk through this game. I've tried all week to say, all right, I get it. Here comes the sharp money. The bettors are betting on South Carolina. The number's gone from 8 to 7.5 to 7 to 6.5. Like, it keeps going down. I'm going, what am I missing? I just don't see it. LSU's got the better coach. They've got the better quarterback. Like, you think if Rex Specs, they scored 23 points on their home field against Old Dominion. And their 2 touchdowns came after Old Dominion fumbled twice inside their own 10-yard line. South Carolina was gifted goal-to-go situations, how they got their only 2 touchdowns. If that team goes up and down the field on LSU, like, blow the thing up. I cannot get there. I have not felt this way about a pick since that Ole Miss game 2 years ago. I think LSU wins it. I think they win it comfortably. I got them 31-13. I'm not telling you LSU is a perfect football team. I think they have flaws, but my God, they are dramatically better in every way than South Carolina. I get it. It's Williams-Brice. It's 11 a.m. Game day's there. All that stuff. Get past the initial surge of Sandstorm and the cock caboose and the cock crowing and all that stupid stuff. Settle into a game and go beat a bad football team. That's what tomorrow's about. You do that, you come home, you beat UCLA, you beat South Alabama, you have an open date. Ole Miss comes here. It'll be a night game. Tiger Stadium will be bat bleep crazy, and maybe you go pull a giant upset over a top 10 team and set yourself up for the second half. You can improve. We'll see if you get there. But none of that matters if you can't go beat South Carolina. Lenora Sellers, a freshman quarterback with rec specs, a bad offensive line, a secondary with nobody to speak of. They got a tight end named Nick Harbor, who's about the only offensive player worth even mentioning his name. If you can't go beat this team, there's no sense in watching the rest of the year. There's no sense in watching. 31-13, AFR.
After further review.
I mean, what else do you want from me?
That was good.
Go to Rouse's. Buy stuff at Rouse's. I love Rouse's. You love Rouse's?
I do.
I love Rouse's. There's so much good stuff at Rouse's. They got everything at Rouse's. They got
Rouse's groceries. There's a lot of good groceries.
Groceries. They got Rouse's branded products as well. Buy the Rouse's branded stuff.
They got milk.
They got milk. What else they got over there? Eggs, cheese, bread. They
got a lot of fruit.
Protein bars.
They got that. They got a lot of fruits.
Toilet paper.
Apples.
All
bananas.
of it. Got it.
Pickles.
You walk, you know what else they got?
Cereal.
Wine.
There's wine there.
Beer.
There's a lot of wine and beer.
Liquor.
Good liquor selection.
Cool. They got your seafood market over there. You want some fresh fish to throw on the grill?
Sushi. There's a guy making sushi over there.
Hand-rolled sushi.
He makes it right in front of you.
Hot and boiled kiosk. It's Rouse's. Like, why would you go anywhere else? They're local.
Yeah, chicken teriyaki like to go.
Oh, I love those.
It's really good.
I love those bowls. They're so good. It's Rouse's. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR. Remember, T-Bob and I will be at Don Juan. They'll open at 11 tomorrow, so if you're looking for a place to watch LSU South Carolina, come join us over at Don Juan. If you can't be at Don Juan for the game or after, we'll be live for Whiskey and Wine as soon as the clock hits 0 on the one.
Really awesome. I need to sell it. 4-bedroom, 4-bath.
4-bedroom, 4-bath, close to LSU.
With an apartment, acre lot.
Acre lot, pool.
Pool, brand new pool.
Brand new pool.
Nice. Somebody buy it.
You want to buy Theriot's house?
Buy my house.
If you want to buy Theriot's house, call me.
Yeah.
I'll put you in touch.
If kids go to U-High, you should buy it. Or Catholic, or St. Joe's.
Or anywhere. Or you don't have kids.
Yeah.
After Further Review.
So last night, Supper Club, smashing success. They opened a bottle of Chateau Margaux. You missed we were talking about this. So they kind of had like a post-hurricane party. And so they opened a bottle of Chateau Margaux and sold it by the ounce. This is a wine from a vineyard that's 500 years old. And on the menu, like on the wine library, it's a $3,700 bottle. So they opened it and sold it by the ounce. $50 a pour for an ounce. So you could try it. Most people never spend that much on a bottle of wine, but I do the same with whiskey. Sure, you'll have $100 for an ounce pour, something super rare you'd never get a bottle of. Just say you tried it. They went through 2.5 bottles yesterday at Supper Club. So they're going to start doing this on Thursdays. I was talking to Chef Layton earlier today. They're going to get a list. So Thursdays they'll start doing this. By the way, also, if you're looking to get some early dinner plans tonight, you can get over to Supper Club. A couple of tables are pre-booked for tomorrow, but it's worth a shot. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward,